Damn, crazy. Haru is
What did
coming
he
off of 2 wins from forfeit.
Myra?
Yeah.
Wait,
How are you?
yeah, I do have 2 wins.
Did your mom get that? I gave it to you, right?
Yeah.
Did your mom get the message? Thank you very much.
No, Myra. I got into her last night. I went.
You talking about that
really pissed.
nasty fucking cunt?
Wow, what
Yes.
happened?
Well,
Forrest, do not call people that.
she okay. How about she said that trans people need to unalive themselves? Called me a F slur and an R slur.
Damn, that's crazy.
She's
What-
actually
what-
Using a
proud
slur
racist.
to
A what
retaliate
slur?
with a slur.
A S slur and a
Wait,
R
what?
slur?
How did I use a slur?
Technically, if you look into it,
Cunt is a slur.
technically.
Well, she
Is it-
technically is one.
Damn.
Wow.
Well, there's Forrest.
Let's get someone. Wait. This is why the atheist community has a lot of misogyny that you need to unpack.
Oh God.
I'm getting that
Okay,
from
so-
someone live.
Somebody tried to break in
Hold
these
on.
people's fucking apartment, dog?
Hold on, Haru. That person was like very, very racist. That's why I wanted you to talk to her. But they didn't want to.
Hope they know they're fucking. Hold on.
Not for. I agree, but we shouldn't use slurs for slurs. We shouldn't retaliate against
I
individuals.
don't think
for
cunt's a
using
slur.
slurs.
Yeah, it just means I don't know how to say it.
Is bitch a slur?
Yes.
Yes.
How is bitch a slur?
that just
Because
means a
it's
female dog.
it's dehumanizing or
What
derogatory.
about
towards women.
pussy? What about pussy?
Yes. That's
Okay,
a
so
slur.
every cuss word's a slur now.
No,
This
that's not
world
what I
is
said at
becoming
all.
so sensitive now. I swear.
What about dumb fuck?
Depending how that's being used.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm using slurs. If dumb fuck's a slur.
Wow, so Yuriko's using derogatory terminology. Wow.
Yeah, and I think you like it too.
Hoko, what's your opinion?
If dumb fuck is a slur, then everything's a slur.
I'm agnostic.
You're
Anyway,
agnostic on slur
man.
use?
Forrest, when you say the word cunt, what are you referring to?
I'm referring to her nasty behavior.
Okay, but like
So
the
what?
word cunt, what does it mean? Like what's the
To me,
original?
I don't know. Does it mean like pussy?
Yeah, right. And so that would be if you're calling somebody that, you're demeaning them down to like the female anatomy.
What if
And you're
I call
calling
a
them
what if I call a
disgusting
person
at the
a
same
dick?
time, which makes it a slur.
What if I
right?
call them a dick?
Well, men are not oppressed, right?
Oh, so
So
I can call somebody a dick, but not a cunt.
Yes.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
that's double standards. No,
that's not
No, it's
double
not, because
standards.
the patriarchal
Yes, it
system
is.
and the oppression
No.
of women.
that's
Because-
hypocritical. I don't know.
No.
I don't know if
No,
I'm
it's
using the
not.
right
Explain
words,
to
but
you
that's
why
not
if you
fair.
hold on.
When females are the
that's
lower
not fair
sex
at all.
class.
No,
Yeah,
that's
so
no,
women-
that's so unfair right now.
Can you allow me to explain?
No.
I guess
Okay.
this will be our first debate for the night.
Yeah, you can
I will
shove it
debate
up
this.
because it doesn't
Go
make
ahead,
any
Maria.
sense. Like I can't stand when it's always just one sided. Only care
It's
about
not-
what a woman feels and how and all of these things. No, because men's
It's not
feelings do
one-sided,
matter
and I can
too.
explain why, but you're not allowing anyone
No,
to
because
explain
it's
anything.
BS.
You just don't want to hear it.
God, can you explain it to me, please?
It's because females are the lower sex class. They have been oppressed. They
What?
still are
That is a
oppressed.
lie.
And so, can you
According to the
listen?
patriarchal
only in your
system.
reality. In your
According to the
reality,
patriarchal
you will
system.
think that women are below men.
But they are.
No, they are not.
According
You
to
don't
the
live in your
patriarchal system, they
reality.
are.
They absolutely are.
You know, I would sing the Charlie Kirk song right now, but like,
Coco, don't you dare.
Charlie Kirk.
Thank you.
No, I thought it was Charlie Kirky.
No.
Isn't that?
But God, isn't it because of like women have been deemed as the
Bobby?
lower quote unquote sex class due to the patriarchal system, due to the oppression
Coco.
that has been examined?
Right. And so when you're calling someone a bitch or a cunt, you're literally demeaning them. But we are referring to women.
And the same.
And the same, so when you're demeaning them down to a woman, that's literally what you're doing. You're making women the lower sex class. That's the point.
Coco, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this is related, but I saw Plum run a live. First of all, I've never seen Plum ever run a live. I've never seen Plum ever run a live. But the first time I saw Plum run a live is the topic of conversation is the atheists, people in the atheist community are misogynistic. Did something happen between y'all?
Yeah.
Y'all all got shout outs.
You got name dropped, by the way, Coco and Forrest. You got name dropped in the comments, and Pigeon got name dropped, by the way.
I'm surprised I didn't get name dropped. Nice.
To be honest, like
what does that even mean? What is a name drop?
No. To be honest, that's like totally fine. Like I don't really care. I think like all publicity is good publicity, and to be honest, like look, basically what happened is like I hosted the last event, which was unquestionable
Mike versus Alex.
Say what?
Was it Mike versus Alex?
No, it was an unquestionable Calvin versus Wi-Fi gospel, right? So I hosted that event, and it was the end of the night, and Plum was a mod. And like I told Plum, hey, it's the end of the night, chill out, just let people do whatever they want. They can scream, they can do whatever, right? Then things were going good until like ISO joined the panel, and he called Plum a bitch, right? And like Plum was like, that's misogynistic, and I was like, okay, cool, yeah. And then I was like, okay, cool, okay, I'll correct it. ISO, don't call Plum a bitch. But then for the rest of the night, for some weird reason, Plum kept having issues, kept muting, kicking people, dropping people off the panel, won't let people do whatever they want, just being uptight and like super like strict. And I was like, Plum, repeatedly, like, hey, it's the end of the night. I don't give a fuck what they do. Just make sure they don't violate TOS. Like, you don't have to be like uptight. Just let them do whatever. And Plum just kept on like being uptight.
I was there because it was ISO and the rest of the Thomists. I were kind of arguing, necessitarianism or like the like we are having because it was I think Black Stallion, but we were trying to understand the view and if God deliberates between decisions and like what's going on there that leads to like some kind of necessitarianism. And to be fair to Plum, there were two things going on. There was derailing from the conversation that was at hand. And unfortunately, these Thomists are relatively competent when it comes to like Thomistic metaphysics. Yeah. So when you just derail like Black Stallion, when you derail, they are going to be rhetorical. And that was on them. They should. I try to tell, hey, bro, don't be rhetorical. They don't understand the view. They just don't understand. But you could like be nice and explain the view. But like because of the nature of the space, debate space we're in is like, oh, they're trying to debate the Phil bros, but the Phil bros are gonna be rhetorical if you just don't understand the view. And I was like, okay, I'm trying to keep it linear. So like, hey, Plum, Black, you don't understand I understand what you're trying to do, but I'm not like negating God's existence here. That's not what the aim of this conversation. I'm not trying to take out God. Maybe somewhere down the road, but the point of the conversation is to understand what is even going on. Yeah. And then, but because of the derailment that was rhetorical, because of that derailing and what the four said, some rhetorical stuff got sent, Plum felt some kind of way about it. And then some back and forth.
And then, so ultimately, and I think it was after the Mike Burgundy debate. It wasn't after the unquestionable Calvin. It was the Mike Burgundy debate. And so, Plum, I kept telling Plum, chill out. Plum won't chill out, right? So basically, the next day, I decide, hey, I'm gonna remove a bunch of my mods. I'm gonna keep certain people, but I'm gonna remove certain people. Plum was not the only person that I removed. I removed Haru. And you know what I love about Haru? You know why Haru is always going to be my best?
Rubbing salt into the wound.
Yeah. Okay. Do you know why I love Haru? And do you know why, Haru's response was perfect, right? I said, Haru, I'm sorry, but I have to remove you as a mod right now, okay? Because I'm keeping a few mods. And Haru always respects people's boundaries. Haru literally responded to me with, "Okay, Mr. Coco, you need to do what you need to do for your show, for your live. It's your live stream. Do what you think is best." That's perfect. That's why, Haru, in the future, if I end up making money from this thing, I'm probably going to pay you for something, or I might actually bring you back as a mod, right? But when I told Plum that she's not going to be a mod, for 12 hours on my Discord, I was getting messages from Plum about misogyny, feminism. Why are you punishing me? Okay, and like the last thing I told her was like, Plum, stop messaging me or I'm going to block you. I set a boundary. You're not a moderator. It's over, right? Then the next day, you know, I'm hosting a live between Unquestionable Calvin and Wi-Fi Gospel, and I'm wearing purple. And Plum decides to DM me and say, "It's funny how you're wearing purple, but you allow misogynists on your platform." And I'm like, "All right, I'm cool with it." So I just blocked Plum. Like, if she's gonna have an attitude for me, like demodding her, then that's fine. If she wants to talk trash, that's fine. Good publicity.
I think that is to be fair to Plum, there might be a conversation about like. Okay, there's two things going on. First of all, there's an issue of misogyny. I think that is fair. In the same sense, when if I was to go to like a panel that feels kind of racist, I'm gonna call it out. You know, but and it's weird to say because I'm not a woman, so I'm not gonna speak from anyone's experience. But in this particular conversation, even though I wanna back up Plum, something felt like she wanted to input in the conversation that she wasn't well versed in, and because she wasn't well versed in, maybe trying to say, "Hey, God this and God this that," and I don't know who sent the first shot. That's what I gotta remember. I don't know who sent the first. Whoever sent the first shot is the trigger. I'm not too sure if it was the Thomist, or if it wasn't for not the Thomist, or it was Plum. I want to believe it's Plum that sent the first shot, and then after that, it just kind of devolved from there. Because by the time ISO came in, ISO was just not having him with Plum simply because she was him and her and Stalin were just derailing from the point of the conversation, and the Thomist was at that point it was just heated.
Yeah.
You know,
to be honest, when it comes down to it, bro, like I get so fucking tired, bro. Like, look, I'm not misogynist, I'm not racist. You know, I try my best to keep my panels as respectful as possible, but I allow like a little bit of combat because it is a debate space. Yeah, like I try to please people as much as possible. And also keep in mind that Plum was complaining that like, oh yeah, like we're punishing her for demodding her. We're not punishing her. I demodded a bunch of people. And also that night too, we blocked Pigeon in order to like accommodate for Plum. So Plum is just like being like extra super whiny. And I understand like we're fighting against misogyny, but then there comes a point where it just becomes like so whiny that even like the tiniest fucking insult and like you lose your shit. And it's like, welcome to the debate space. Welcome to philosophy. Do you think that I haven't been called a slur? I just take it and I fucking like deal with it, right? Like you're part of the debate space. Like I debate people. People take jabs at me. I take jabs back at them. Get up and fight like a man, or like a woman. Like what are we talking about?
To be fair,
I refuse to back off of rhetoric in 2026. I'm sorry. In fact, here comes one of my slaves right now. No degree.
Or just be yourself and let go of the titles and the labels.
You see, like no degree knows how to take rhetoric. If there's anyone that knows how to take rhetoric,
no degree literally takes substantive and rhetorical backshots on this app every day, and he still gets up, and he is a champion of absolutely getting
so much courage,
butt fucked every day on this app.
Where do you draw the line at what you call rhetoric? I'm just curious.
Yeah. So
honestly,
so hold on. So really quick, look, I'm not saying like people should be toxic. We should go around saying like atrocious things. No, right? But I think like if somebody says like I'm giving you rhetorical backshots, right? I'll be like, okay, that's fine. That's rhetoric. But if somebody like, let's say a close friend knows that recently you've been
endorsing that controversial compass.
Hey, no degree. Be my best and good slave, and shut your mouth when Coco's talking. Okay?
Chill, guy. But like, okay, so like, let's say somebody is saying
like
like
an endorsement.
Hold on.
Shut your fucking mouth
Wait,
before I
it's-
put another picture of you up.
Yeah, chill. I'm talking. But let's say that somebody says like I'm giving you rhetorical backshots. I would say, okay, that's rhetoric. Cool, that's granted. I'm not going to punish you for that, right? But let's say that somebody's recently going through a divorce, and like you know that, and you're like, hey, maybe you should stop arguing because your arguments are just as terrible as your marriage, and so it ended like your divorce. I would be like, okay, that's fucking atrocious. That's like that's terrible. We're gonna punish that. That's bad. We should not have that. Okay, there's like a line between like it's the debate space and then like you're trying to destroy somebody to the point that they're gonna go into depression for 8 months.
Can I admit to doing something worse than that?
Honestly, I've seen worse than that.
So yesterday, Prince told me "good boy," like I always tell him, and I was gonna let him make it because there were only 2 people on the panel, and Butterfly Sun Earth was like, "Hey, Coco doesn't have a mod. Can you let us all up?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course." So I let everybody up, and I said, "Y'all just behave." And as I was about to leave, I was gonna let Prince make it. He said, "Yeah, good boy. Do exactly what I say." So I dropped him from the panel. I muted him in the chat. I saw that his friend had died, and I said, "Hey, why don't you let Paula let you up instead?"
Okay.
Boris.
Jesus.
Okay,
But you guys are laughing.
Don't laugh at that.
You're
Do not laugh
smiling
at
right
that.
now, Haru.
Wait, hold on. Okay,
You're
so
all going to hell.
That's what. If you're going to be in the debate space, I think you just have to have thick skin as it is.
Yeah, that's
literally
the
people.
main bit. Like, if you're gonna be in this space, now there are some spaces where, like, now it depends on the live. There are lives where, like, hey, I don't tolerate any name calling. I don't tolerate any of that. And there's some people that do run their lives like that. To be fair, that there are. But
No.
Coco, you made it clear that hey, you're just trying to chill. You've been through a long day. As long as it's nothing too outrageous, too outlandish, let's y'all just have a conversation.
Yeah, and for some reason, like Plum was losing her tits, right? Like I literally said,
Can't say that either.
Wow,
Yep.
Coco.
Wow.
Microaggression.
Don't say things like
Get him,
that.
God. Get him, God.
No, because
Call out live December 31st, 8 p.m. EST for the controversial compass and forest.
I'm going to repost this on my Twitter.
Okay, chill. But like, literally, I was like, hey, I hosted a debate event today. I literally spent hours like editing the promo video. We promoted it. It's successful. Like, hey, I've been through a long day. It's the end of the night. Let them do whatever they want as long as they don't violate TikTok policy. And for some reason, like Plum was having a whole like panic attack or something, and she was like mute. I looked at the panel and there was 8 people, and within seconds it went from 8 to 2, and I was like, what's happening?
Weren't we on the call during this time?
Yeah, and me and Haru were on a call, and I literally just blocked Pigeon, and we were like changing my live for Plum, but apparently that wasn't enough. Apparently we need to ban every single person that Plum doesn't agree with. And like,
but I did take the first shot.
yeah, but look, ultimately at the end of the day, like I don't allow misogyny, I don't allow homophobia on my panel, no racism.
Homophobia? Why would I be scared of a gay person?
And then but on my live, no homophobia, no racism, no.
I got a question for you.
No being misogynist, right?
Can you show us the crayon that you wrote it down with? No degree.
Wait, hold on. But also to refer to the other thing.
Is this an atheist bootlicking session, or can I ask a question?
Can you shut your fucking mouth for 2 more minutes while Coco finishes his speech? Thank you.
Guys, I know you two are beefing, but you guys need to.
I literally could not care less about the existence of the minuscule cretin below me.
Okay, but you guys need to coexist. It's getting a bit out of hand.
Do you see how Forrest didn't use the word bitch and he came up with something else? I want to applaud him for that. I thought it was
I am
beautiful.
so
Thank
proud
you,
of
ma'am.
Forrest. We need to
Dude,
get a
Coco,
clap
you-
of the panel.
Coco, you be sound like Forrest to me
How about
sometimes.
you clap your cheeks, Haru?
Where do you come from? You come from a black.
Get the fuck off my panel. What the fuck?
Did that faster than you, by the way.
Yeah, you did.
Coco, I got
Bobby,
a very important question for you.
Okay, hold on. Wait, Bobby, what were you saying?
Sometimes Coco.
What?
Did somebody mute Bobby?
Sorry, you be sounding like Forrest to me at times.
Yeah. Sometimes I be saying like some of the stuff that Forrest says, but also Forrest. I have to correct it, but like, okay, saying good boy is not like a punishable offense. I think like, I get it, like it's demeaning. Like good boy is not a
Demod
punishable
Forest.
offense, but like, but talking about someone's dead friend, okay, Forrest, we have to pull the punches a little bit.
He said he would. He said he would spit on me and kill me.
He
It was
did?
on his own panel. You know, you can't control what Forrest does on his panel.
No.
I
I can.
don't-
No. I did that on Coco's. I admit to it.
Oh, well, take his mod. What the fuck, Coco?
Oh,
I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
Forrest.
As long as you don't give it to God.
Forrest.
Anyway, go ahead, No Degree. Give us your genius question. You've been rearing to go, chomping at the bit.
Wait, hold on. Before that, Forrest. Like, okay, like, pull the punches.
Demod him.
Wait, hold on. Stop.
Let me get you back to that in the comments, Harvey.
No, Forrest is a good mod. I think you can be a little rough when it comes to the Christians, and remember, we need opposition. We need Christians, so we have to coexist with them, but also we need opposition. We need Christians, so we have to coexist with them, but also we need opposition. We need Christians, so we have to coexist with them, but also we need opposition. We need Christians, so we have to coexist with them, but also we need opposition. We need Christians, so we have to coexist. We need opposition. We need Christians, so we have to coexist with them, but also Luis.
Coco was saying some things where, and during the time that Coco was saying it, Forrest was saying some things like cheek clapping, things of this nature. Forrest has said,
Belt ass.
now, the interesting thing is, Coco, there was no explicit condemnation or punishment for Forrest for saying this. Would it be fair to say that you are endorsing Forrest's speech by allowing it and not explicitly condemning it?
No Degree for this question. I love No Degree for this.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so I can answer that. I think okay, I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm gonna levy some criticism here. I think Forrest can be very, very, very extremely rough with like the Christians, especially with like muting and stuff, which we should lessen that, right? But saying that he's gonna like put belt to ass, or saying that he's going to like, give you rhetorical backshots. I mean, like, there's been worse things said in like Discord debates. And
Well, since you're not explicitly forbidding it, you're not punishing him, then that's an endorsement of him saying that, right?
I would say like that rhetoric is not like crossing the line. No, if Forrest said something,
it's an
like,
endorsement by atheist criteria, because if it's the case there's no explicit condemnation and there's an allowance of it, then by the criteria the atheist will make, say with biblical slavery, then it follows you're actually endorsing what he's saying, right?
He's trying to get you in a goofy ass gotcha.
Hold on.
Would that be fair?
I mean, like, you'd have to take that up with somebody.
First Amendment.
Wait, hold on. Like, you'd have to take
Forrest,
that up
wouldn't
with
it be
someone
fair
who-
to say that Coco is endorsing you talking about back shots, cheek clapping, and all of that, because he's not explicitly forbidding it, and even though he's uncomfortable with it, he's not explicitly forbidding it, and he's tolerating it. You're allowed to be a mod. So by your criteria, Forrest, that's an endorsement of your actions, correct?
Okay, wait. Here's my answer. I would say that like I would say I'm condoning it, but am I like promoting it or endorsing it? I'd probably say like no.
Interesting. So do you believe the Bible endorses slavery?
Well, yeah, but No Degree, like, I don't want to take the conversation there, right? What I do want to,
because you understand this is an inconsistency.
Yeah, hold on.
You can't say the Bible endorses slavery by that criteria, right?
I don't want to take the conversation there. What I'm trying to say, right, is like to set the boundaries of the live. I think saying like belt to ass or like rhetorical backshots, that's not really terrible. Some of my favorite online content creators like Destiny or like, more famous debaters like Hassan have said like way worse things that I would probably draw a line to. But like if Forrest is ever racist, homophobic, or misogynist to you, or if he threatens your life, then feel free to bring it to me, and that would probably be grounds to take away his mod.
But I'm just saying, based on the criteria of what an atheist would say endorsement means, you're going to say that you're endorsing the behavior of Forrest when he says he's clapping someone's cheek, he's taking back. You are endorsing this, right?
No, dude, I already said my position.
I would like
Okay,
to. I
then
would like
how
to
can you-
correct.
then how
Hold
can-
on, shut up. I did not say I was clapping somebody's cheek. I said clapping someone's cheeks, multiple cheeks.
Yeah. But also, like, I've already said my position on it. I would say, like, I'm condoning the behavior, but I'm not promoting it. Or like,
No degree. What is your position on cheek clapping?
But like, if you want to have a debate on slavery, I don't know, set up a formal with Forrest.
Yeah, what's your position on cheek clapping? No degree. Is it like prone, doggy, maybe missionary?
Okay.
But can I actually ask the serious question?
Cowgirl, reverse cowgirl.
Go for it.
No
There
degree.
seems to
Would
be
you,
an inconsistency here of what y'all mean by
Standing
endorse.
69, possibly.
And
Okay.
it doesn't seem to be clear to me what endorse actually means. If you're saying you're not endorsing here, this is what atheists tell me the endorse means.
Well, it brings a whole new meaning to belt to ass, to be honest with you.
All right, guys. I have a clear definition of what endorse means. If you want to ask me my definition, I feel like you have like some kind of beef with like Forrest and like your previous debates with like in regards to slavery, and you're trying to get
Coco, every single atheist that ever uses the word endorse, they're always inconsistent with how they endorse. And I think you're being inconsistent too. That's why I brought it up. I've never had an atheist consistently use it.
Okay, wait, fine. I will happily discuss this. What's the inconsistency in how I'm defining it?
So it may not be for you, because if you're just simply saying, because an atheist would say to allow or legislate and not explicitly forbid something as an endorsement. So, okay, well then you would disagree with most atheists then. Thank you. Have a nice day.
wait,
Okay.
no degree.
Like I said, he was looking for a goofy ass fucking gotcha, and it never
What
worked.
you just admitted was their definition of endorsement is insufficient.
Oh, okay,
And that's what I've been saying the whole time.
Okay,
Do you agree with me, Coco?
Okay, yeah, no degree. Let me respond. So, I mean, like, if I was making the argument, right, I would say, like, condone means to, like, allow for something to happen, right? Endorse would mean to, like,
We're talking about endorse, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Endorse would mean to, like, show some kind of, like, support or approval or promotion of this thing. And technically, God was giving laws to Moses on like how to do slavery. So technically, you could say that God was endorsing slavery because he's literally giving them rules.
Technically, you're giving
slavery.
rules on what Forrest can and cannot do within this limitation of saying
So, like,
sexual things, right? So you're endorsing Forrest to be able to make sexual comments to other people.
Oh, then yeah, sure, yeah. I guess I'm endorsing.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm just saying that you have. So you have to. You would say that you are actually indeed endorsing his behavior, right?
Okay, yeah. So like, I guess I see where you're saying there's an inconsistency.
Thank you, Coco. Thank you.
Yeah, but not necessarily. So like the rule that I'm setting is not necessarily saying like Forrest, go out and like well, I don't know.
Yeah, Coco.
You're not explicitly forbidding it. You're legislating in a sense because you're giving him guidelines to work around. Like, don't be homophobic, but you can talk about cheek clapping, blah, blah, blah. So there is some guidelines here. Okay, essentially, you're endorsing it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I guess I'll give it to you. Yeah, like I am literally telling Forrest that, like, hey,
thank you.
These actions are acceptable. These other ones are not. And then, given the other case that I mentioned, God is giving instructions to like the Jews on how to collect slaves or like where to get them from. So I would say in both cases, right, I'm endorsing Forrest's behavior, and one could make the argument that like God is giving his approval and endorsing this behavior by literally telling them how to go about doing it and giving them rules and guidelines.
Okay. Well, I just mainly wanted to see if there was a consistency here, Coco. That was all.
Yeah.
Because I knew you would have to admit that you're endorsing what Forrest is doing, because
do you have like a real
argument?
No degree.
No, I'm just looking for internal consistency here.
You're just looking for a gotcha moment, and it always fails.
But
well, in this case, I can say it is the case that Coco endorses Forrest saying sexually explicit things to people on his own lives.
Yeah. And Haru, were you
That's
offended by that?
No,
no. I'm
but
just
no
saying that
degree. No
that
degree.
this
Can
is
I
a
ask
true
you one
statement.
question?
Well, thanks,
Coco
White Knight.
endorses the sexual explicit speeches of Forrest against other people.
Yeah.
Something
Are
like
you
that.
the guy that also loves slavery so much that he makes it a
Wait, hold
topic
on,
every
but
other
like,
day?
but no degree,
I
no
mean, that's
degree.
all I'm saying.
Wait, hold on,
You're
hold
a
on.
I think we
nasty
can all
guy,
agree there.
Coco.
Yeah.
Wait,
You're a
stop,
nasty
stop.
guy.
Wait, guys, stop. So no degree, but like, how is that any different than like sports trash talk, right? When someone says like, "I'm gonna viciously kick your butt," like, wouldn't that be like sexual, like taunting, or like some kind of weird like punishment in a way? You could take that in a weird way.
Look, if you're going to use endorsement the way y'all do, then sure, you could say they're
I mean, like,
endorsing.
I've already granted you the definition of endorsement.
Could
I'm
it
just
be the
saying that,
possibility that it seems to be an intuition, Coco, that when I ask you this question, you seem to intuitively want to say, "Yeah, I'm not really endorsing this."
well,
But
I've
then
already
when I kind of pressed you, you
no
did
degree,
kind
no
of
degree.
concede it was an endorsement.
Wait, no degree. I literally already I conceded and granted you that I'm endorsing it. But also what I'm trying to stipulate.
But you
now,
would admit it took you a while, as if maybe you thought,
Yeah.
maybe I'm not sure. Am I
Yeah, he
endorsing
did this
it or what?
thing. I'm not sure if you're aware of it.
got it,
It's
we got
called
it, we got it.
thinking.
Yeah, we got it. But no degree. Like, I've already granted you that. Now I'm just saying that, like, hey, the parameters in which I've granted, right, seem to be pretty normative when it comes to like competitive sports, right? Like, other people would say things like, "Oh yeah, we're kicking your ass," or "Yeah, like that team's getting like dog walked," or like plenty of things like that, right? So I don't really see an issue with like
Cheek
like,
clapped, yeah.
yeah,
So you would say you would say that
that's what like
this team is endorsing the clapping of cheeks of the other team, right?
no, it's not endorsing that it's endorsing that you can say that you're clapping someone's cheeks as some kind of taunting method in
Okay,
competitive.
it's endorsing taunting the other team.
You know, Coco, do you know what this
Clapping.
You know what this reminds me of? Have you guys seen that TikTok where this white dude was like angry that I guess the BBC, the news network, I've
loved BBC my whole life.
What's it? He said he's
Yeah,
my love for
Bobby,
the BBC.
I saw it. It's not what the BBC used to stand for. I have a deep love for the BBC.
This is not the BBC. My grandma.
Let Haru get in here. Go ahead, ask your question and no degree.
Yeah, but
No
go ahead,
degree.
bro.
No degree. I formally challenge you to a formal debate on a trans topic.
No one leave so J-Rob can't come up. No one leave.
No degree. I formally challenge you. Do you accept the invitation for this formal debate?
The topic of trans?
A trans topic. It doesn't matter what. I'll debate you on any trans topic.
Absolutely. Maybe we can ring in the new year by debating on Forrest or Coco's Live.
You love
Coco's
having my
birthday.
name in your mouth, don't you?
Sure.
Wait, what time are you free, Coco?
Have to be
I
after
think-
the new year sometime.
Yeah, I think like all my debates right now are scheduled for January. I mean, like I could fit something in December, but like you'd have to work around.
Yeah, I
like,
couldn't do it in December. I couldn't do it even. It'd have to be after the holidays.
Let me get
But
J
I
Chain.
am
Let me get J
happy.
Chain too. By the way.
So what?
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
we could.
yeah,
maybe
Forrest,
we could say, is it reasonable to believe transgenderism is true, or something like that? What would be the topic?
That is probably the best idea I've ever heard you have.
Or
like,
or like
hold on,
no
hold
degree, no degree. We could run the topic trans women are women and trans men are men.
okay, but yeah, whatever.
I would
get
probably
that
agree with that.
But hold on, Forrest. Yeah, so many people are trying to debate you, Forrest. I literally lost track.
And yet, none of them messaged me
Forrest
back
couldn't
when I.
debate is way
No
out of
degree.
a-
I fucking shit on you, and I was the worst
Couldn't
performer
debate it.
against. Shut up, real quick. Let me teach you something.
Yeah, let's
In the performances against me, Vizzy, Tiny, and AP, I did the worst performance. I got 84% of the vote. Your performances were 16%, 13%, 9%, and 0%. You got 0% of the vote versus Atheistic Preacher. Not a single
Wait,
person
what?
voted for you. Not a single
Atheistic
person.
preacher did. Nobody voted for me against atheist. No, there was
No.
people that voted. Yeah.
No. Let me tell you
there
who
was
did.
actually 3 agnostics that did.
That's
2
wrong.
agnostics.
That's wrong. If you go back and check, there
Yeah.
was one person who. How about we test your memory? Who
They
hosted
admitted
it? Who hosted it?
it was Coco.
Wrong. Solovino.
Oh, it wasn't. Oh shit.
No, no, it
Wait,
was
no,
Coco.
Coco hosted a
Because I
debate
just
against
saw
No
the
Degree
highlights.
and
Coco
Atheistic Preacher.
hosted.
Oh, you're talking about the other. You're talking about the
That's
other one. I thought
right. See,
you're
and
talking
that's how
about
I
the high.
know that your brain is
No,
foggy.
I debated Atheistic Preacher twice. Once on Coco and once actually wasn't a debate. That was what's funny. It was never a debate. It was a conversation.
Oh, and during
That's
that
why I don't
quote
know
unquote
why.
conversation, 33 people voted on who won. 32 of them
Which
voted
was
for
weird
AP.
because it was
When
never
asked,
actually.
why did you vote? Why in the world did you vote for No Degree? The person said, I accidentally casted my vote for No Degree. I'm so sorry.
Okay,
Well, let
wait,
me
okay.
add,
All
you
of that
know
is
that
great and all.
Atheistic Preacher behind the scenes actually conceded my argument.
Okay, all of that is
Proof?
great and all, but can I get
So-
to like scheduling Forrest's debate? That'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
I need J. I'll pick. I don't care. Give me first and foremost, give me J Train. I'll smack him around. Give me. There's another person that's been on Space Feeds Live. This guy Timothy. Wants me on a formal. Once I beat both of them and another person, I want Trent.
Okay, so let's
Well,
do...
the person I'm gonna have to go, but the person who challenged me, send me. We can have a conversation to backtrack with the topic and stuff. I
Oh, by
would
the
be
way,
happy to debate it.
By the way, OG Kylo, I did add somebody to that roster. Okay, actually, I need to talk to you about... Okay, like, I kind of want to move that event just 1 week backwards because I added somebody to the roster, and it basically would be Missy versus J-Rob, which I think is going to be good.
Hey, you're saying you want to push it back further?
Yeah, just 1 week.
Yeah,
So
no,
I wanted to be on February 6th, but trust me.
Yeah, you're tripping.
No, did I say it's gonna be
Nobody, bro. Nobody's doing that right now. They can just
Like-
have they just need to have their own debate then.
You want to have their
It's
own
already
event?
been pushed back so much.
I know, but like it's gonna be great.
They should
Like,
just have their
literally,
own debate then, or just come on the right day.
Or actually, you know what? Actually, we can make it 2 events. Actually, that is
That
true.
seems.
I can have them on February 6th, and then we could do the January 20th one.
30th.
Oh yeah, January 3rd. Yeah, okay. Okay, I might push my debate back 1 week to give myself a little bit extra time to prepare, but then that's it.
By the way, January 30th is 5 weeks. Like, if someone needs more than 5 week prep, then like what?
I want to make sure that I like do like astonishingly good. And like, yeah, I'm debating about morals. I need to start soon, but yeah, I'm
Yo,
debating
angry atheist.
about, yeah.
You're pro-trans?
Yes.
What do you take identity to be?
You want me to read you the dictionary definition?
Whatever you mean when you use the term.
Okay, I'll get to the definition right now. Hold on a moment.
Interesting. But thank you guys for being here. There's 21 people on the live. I really appreciate you guys. If you can, like the live, tap your screens. That will help get more people in the live. And yeah, we're basically looking for ops or anyone to talk to about the topic at hand. But thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it. Forrest, everybody on the panel. But yeah, to summarize, you know, I allow a little bit of trash talking on my live because that's just the debate space. And, you know, I mean, like I've seen worse on like Halo lobbies or, you know, Xbox lobbies or, you know, some of my favorite content creators online do a lot of trash talk. But we don't allow homophobia, racism, misogyny, and that's basically it. But there might be some other things that come up. Oh, personal attacks. And also, Plum is losing her shit because she can't respect boundaries, and I literally just demodded her, and she decided to lose her shit. So that's happening, but that's okay. Any press is good press, and apparently people are talking bad about me. But you know that kind of already is a thing. Anywhere you go on TikTok, people have good things or bad things to say about me. I try my best to be a good person. But yeah, that's all I have to say.
I mean, yeah. I think to some degree, Plum might be right in just in terms of saying, hey, maybe like people's tolerance level. I think there's 2 things going on, right? Like if your tolerance level for like, you know, rhetoric is low, then you shouldn't be in lies where that's the case, you know. Like you don't have that kind of tolerance level. However, I think that's different from saying that this is something that ideally I want to allow, but if you allow it, it is what it is. There, it just different spaces.
You know, but like I don't know, like do you feel like anything was said to her that was like whoa 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 over the line besides someone calling her like a B word?
No, I mean just someone called her chopped. I think then I saw with the bitch. Um,
Okay, so
like it
she
was,
got mad.
so it was
She got
like
mad because someone called her chopped.
I think it was being chopped, and then being called the bitch.
Yeah,
But
like
my biggest thing I can recall is it felt cordial because it was me, her, Black Stallion, and then just the Thomists. Um, so I'm not. I know, like sometimes when you're having these conversations, and there's Christians on the panel, because I knew who they were and I knew I've had conversations with them before. I it's I don't want to go over arguments of like I don't want to go over arguments like they've given the argument for God, the Thomistic arguments, and I didn't want to like rehash that. And I think maybe Black Stallion was trying to go over the first way and stuff like that, but he was attacking it in a different way. The point at the time was that we already ran the argument. We had Cage, we had AR, we had Pensive, we had J Mike. We ran it against Hero and their crew already. We've already got, so it wasn't the point of the conversation there wasn't to like rehash that argument, but to like understand some other aspect of the view. But I think they wanted to like attack it, and I don't know what happened, but yeah, just somebody said the first word, and after that it went downhill because I think she kept on wanting to mute and dropped after the first jab of misogyny.
yeah,
But but it's just that's just the nature of the space. It wasn't huge. It was like calling someone a bitch and chopped. And maybe I don't know. Maybe I have a higher tolerance, but to me, bitch and chopped is just not
I would
the
say
most huge.
yeah, like I would say the only thing that's unacceptable there is like calling a female a bitch, but then like the chopped thing, like who gives a fuck if somebody calls you chopped? Like, welcome to the debate space, like have thick skin, like insults are gonna get. Dude, do you know how many fucking insults have been thrown at me? Like I've already said this, but like, bro, like I've taken a lot of shots, bro. But
Yeah,
I've
they're
also
like
given.
just saying you're stupid. I think the usual you're stupid, you're chopped, you're
Yeah.
unintelligent, and then eventually at some point the bitch. But like, I feel like that's so common in these spaces that I'm just not. I like as soon as someone starts doing that, my brain doesn't even like register it as like anything, you know.
Yeah. Like it's
But
just
maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just a me thing though.
yeah, like it is what it is. Like I take it on the shoulder and I'm like, okay, cool, ha ha ha, I'm stupid. Yeah, you're right. And then like I insult them back or say something even worse back. But like it is what it is. I've said worse things, but I don't know. I just blocked her. I'm not really interested in like being friends or like having her as a mod. I'm kind of okay. 2026 is like protecting this space and just being around people that I love and cherish and like fuck all the beefs and like the negative energy or whatever. That's a little bit cringe, but like I'm too tired to like sit here and like I don't know, please everybody, I guess.
Let's get some arguments going. Sinner not saved. What's up? Sinner now saved. What's up?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, what's up? Are you a Christian?
Yeah, I'm a Christian.
Didn't you
I'm a
already say that you would
Catholic.
unalive a baby on my stream if God told you to?
Okay, but
Yeah, if God told me to do that, I would.
Yeah, would
Okay.
you marry a child if God told you to?
Okay,
I would
let's
do anything God told me to do.
Would you take back shots from Jesus if God told you to?
hold on. Okay, let's take a
Anything God
different
told me to
wait.
do.
Stop.
Perfect. No, I
Well,
mean
we're
he
gonna
literally
take
just said that he would.
we're taking a different approach. Wait.
I mean, he just admitted he would literally do a child, but okay.
Hey, okay. Well, hey, Sinner. Well, welcome to the panel. My name's Coco. You're a Christian. Can you give me any reason why I should trust in the Christian God or believe in him?
Sure. Just that being a Christian is the best way to live your life, even if it's not true. If everyone acted like a Christian then everybody would be living a much better life than we are right now. We'd have a much better society. And
Let me levy some arguments against that. So whenever you say better, like what do you mean by that? Like what do you mean by better? What's the thing you're measuring in regards to better?
we would just have a higher amount of moral decency.
What do you think about like Buddhists, right? Who focus on meditation and trying to like better the self. You don't think that they have like a high moral decency?
I think it's just they focus on themselves rather than God, so therefore it's a selfish thing.
You don't think Buddhists have like any teachings about like treating others with kindness or being peaceful
They
in
do, but
regards
they
to the
believe
world?
in yeah, but it's very selfish based.
Okay, but I mean, like, like in life, you would admit that you have to be selfish, right? You have to take care of yourself before you can take care of others.
I mean that's what they say when you're on an airplane, but
Yeah, but also like in life, right? Like I can't give people advice about like mental health if my mental health is like awful and like I don't even know like the first thing about mental health, right? So I have to educate myself and take care of myself before I can help other people, right?
well, I think you can help other people no matter what state you're in. But yeah, I see your point.
Yeah, which I mean, you can, but sometimes, you know, you might be a little bit overwhelmed, right? And like maybe it would just be best to focus on yourself and then help other people whenever you got a grip on your stuff.
Yeah, but
So
when you
Scotty, are you
focus
still
on God
racist?
and when you focus on God and ask God for God's help, then it's much easier to do things on your own.
How are you measuring that?
Just well, you always have somebody by your side. You know, that's God, right?
You know, I mean, like there are some people who would say that it's easier to just deal with stuff on their own without God and believing in God can bring a lot of problems into their life, like the fear of
Well,
hell or judgment.
if you can deal with it on your own, that's good. That's what God wants. He wants you to deal with it on your own. But if you can't, then God is there.
Yeah, but like, what would you say to people who would say like it's easier to deal with things on their own or via like therapy or other like secular methods than to deal with it
Yeah.
given like some kind of God method?
Well, that's a good thing. God
Oh,
doesn't have to be involved in every single aspect of your life, right? But
okay. So
it's
given
better
that,
if he is.
like it would seem as if like you know somebody could be totally fine without God, equal or if not better. They could just live a
You know,
secular
they
life.
could be fine, but you can't be better. I don't believe.
I mean, like, how would you measure that even? Actually, I mean, like, it's sort of subjective, but like, how would you measure like better?
Well, the thing is, when there's God in the picture, like it says in the Bible to put God before even your own mother and brother and family, right? So putting God first gives you this loyalty to a higher power.
But
And
how does that make your life better or allow people to live like better lives in comparison to somebody who lives like a life where they devote themselves to like secular humanitarianism and they love their mother and brother and sister and they go to therapy?
I just think that to have God and love the Creator is most important because all those people who you're helping and caring for, they might need God, right? Maybe you don't, but they might. And the reason that you're helping them is because you're a good person. And the only reason you are a good person is because, well, you are a good person and God will recognize that, right?
Yeah.
But
So like for
works
me, I'm not.
alone is not good enough.
Yeah, for me, I'm not really seeing like the symmetry breaker. It seems like you just kind of have like a preference. You think that like God is better, but like you're not really showing me like how is God better? Somebody could live an equally good life, right? Just being a secular humanist and like going to therapy. But like, what exactly is God making better about someone's life? You know?
Well, I don't think that they can live a good life without God. Like they can live a good life and they think they're maybe living a good life, but can always be better if you add God in there. Because God gives you that extra bit of love that you never had, right? You never were feeling God's love and
You know, I mean,
kindness
like
for you and experience.
I mean, what if somebody already feels enough love from their family, their friends, their coworkers? Like,
Well, I would say that is God just giving a. He gave you a good family, and you have lots of love in your family. I would say that is part
wait,
of God and the Holy Spirit.
how do you demonstrate that? Like, how is that demonstratable? Like, that could, I mean, like, it could be the case that God gave you like a good family and like a good life, but it could also just be the case that like you just happen to be born to that family, given like evolution and like naturalistic processes.
Scotty
I
does not
mean,
believe in evolution.
you gotta understand that God, like I believe in God, that God is real. God has been in my life, my whole life.
So Scotty, are you still racist?
Me, I'm not a racist. No, of course.
Yes, you are. You said the N word plenty of
My
times.
wife is.
Okay, wait,
My
guys.
wife is black, so
We can hash that
No,
outside.
my wife is black.
Let's just stay on the
she
topic.
is. How could I be? How could I marry a black woman if I'm racist?
Well, I mean, you said the N word plenty of
Okay,
times, and you also said you had
okay, guys,
JEWS.
stop. I'm setting a boundary. Handle it outside the live. The topic here is like,
Where did that come from? Angry just like brought that out of nowhere.
yeah, let's
Well,
focus on the
follows me around.
topic.
His name is Scotty. He made like 12 different accounts to follow me around. So
Okay,
I know who he is.
Well,
we're moving on.
let's say that it is true, right? That that heaven and hell is real. You want to make sure that you go to heaven, even if it's not real. You don't want to take that chance, right? Because what if you end up in hell?
Oh yeah, I mean like, okay, so, but that's kind of like a pivot to like something else, right? We're talking about like what's like why Christianity is better than like a secular life, which could grant someone equal peace, if not better peace.
I think that they would be lacking God's love.
Why is God's love necessary?
It's not necessary. You can still live your love, but God's love is there for you to take for free. It's a free gift.
Okay, but like it's not. But it's not.
It's not necessary, but your life can be better with it.
Wait, how do you know?
Just like you might say, like you're fine with the amount of money you have right now, but your life would be much better with $100 million, don't you think?
I mean, I guess, but like there would be some way to sort of, like,
you know, it's going to be better, right?
I mean, like, sure, but I mean, like, well, it could also bring like no change whatsoever. Like, how do we measure that there's like some kind of consistent, like, to be honest, we can't even measure like, what's your standard for measuring like better? To be honest, like,
all right. Well, I go to church. And I see all the people at church, and they are truly, truly happy. And I could go to work and I see a bunch of people who don't believe in God, and they're pretty much miserable.
Okay, hold on. So let me think about that. You're basically saying that like if you have God's love, it can make your life better. It's not necessary, but it can make your life better.
Yeah.
And then I guess like, okay, that's there, but like somebody could literally live just as good of a life as like a secular, like, okay, so if I have God's love, what changes about my life exactly?
You view the world completely different. You're gonna see truth in things that you've never seen before. Like, for instance,
do you think that's impossible given like a godless view of the world?
Well, here's an example. If you have a godless view, you're going to see what's going on now with the transgender thing as like some sort of brainwashing or bad thing that's going on. But if you have God in your life, you're going to see it as bad, right? But if you have no God in your life, you're going to say, yeah, men can dress up like women and become girls. And like, you're just very confused and messed up in your head without God, right?
Wait, hold on. Give me a different example. Because like, I disagree with you. I think there's nothing wrong with people like, you know, wearing whatever they want to wear and expressing however they want to express.
Yeah,
but,
and if you had God, you would think differently.
Well, actually, here's an interesting question right here. Like, because
you want to dive into it?
Because at the end of the day, Forrest already demonstrated that he's kind of like, the divine command theorist. I'm not even too sure I'm not like, in his view, whatever God says is good, right? So like he could take back shots and that'll be good. But what I don't understand is why do you think God dislikes the trans community? What is it about where is it there that
Yeah, and also
like
like
why is it why do you think what's the view that God dislikes trans community? Like just go detail that
Well,
real quick.
sex is marriage is between a man and a woman, and the point of becoming one is so you can create more humans. You can't do that when
My question is more like why do you where is it that God dislikes a trans person? I'm not talking about
well,
what marriage
actually,
is about.
trans people are mentioned in the Bible as eunuchs, and some people became eunuchs and cut off their junk in order to praise God. So some people actually became eunuchs, trans people, for God in God's name. God loves those trans people.
So wait.
Okay,
So
wait,
I
hold
guess it,
on, wait, to clarify, like, the reason I didn't want to talk about this is because, like, obviously I'm going to disagree with you, and I don't want to promote, like, transphobia, or, yeah, but, I try to be good faith with Christians, but some of these beliefs are,
yeah, they're just stupid, right?
No, but
They're just,
anyone can look up eunuch. A eunuch is a trans person in the Bible.
how
A
do you
eunuch is not a trans person. You know what a eunuch is?
What is it?
It's a person who's had their junk cut off.
Yes, exactly.
That's not what trans is, dipshit.
It is
What
what
do you think
trans is.
transgender means?
Someone who has undergone transgender surgery.
No, you are an absolute
sex.
fucking cretin. Let me teach you what transgender means definitionally. It is a person whose gender does not comport or align with the sex that they were given at birth. Do you understand that sex and gender are two different things?
But do you understand that sex and gender weren't two different things until the 90s?
Hey, here, boy. I need you to pay attention, okay? Because sex
Answered
and
your
gender.
question.
Yeah, you didn't actually. You asked me a question, and that's not how you answer a question. I asked you, do you know that sex and gender are not the same?
They weren't until the 90s.
Oh my god. Yes or
until
no?
the 90s, they were the exact same thing.
Yes or no?
Until the
Wait, wait,
90s, they were
actually,
the
wait, hold
exact
on.
same thing. Are you listening or are you stupid?
wait, let's dive into that. Has anybody read up on, like, sex and gender, like, papers or anything?
That's Haru. He's gone.
Yeah, cis wasn't invented until 1994.
I have to check
Before that, they had sex and gender as the same definition in the dictionary. So after that, after 1994, they changed the definitions. So all this transgender new stuff is all new definitions.
Do you understand that Jesus was also transgender?
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't.
Does Jesus have a father? A physical father?
Yeah, God the Father in heaven.
No. A physical father. Was Jesus born of an immaculate conception? Yes or no?
Yeah, God the Father in heaven.
No. Pay attention, you stupid fuck. I'm asking you, was Jesus
Does he have a father?
process?
Yes, God the Father
Oh my
in heaven.
God, shut the fuck up for 5 seconds. Listen to what I'm asking, not what I'm not saying. Okay, I'm gonna keep you caged like the animal that you are. I'm gonna keep you muzzled. I'm asking you, did Jesus have a biological father?
Yes.
Okay, and who was Jesus' biological father? Because that would negate the concept of the Immaculate Conception.
His father up in heaven.
You don't know what biological means.
No, his father has a physical body who's up in heaven.
A physical body in heaven?
You think God has a physical body?
That's why God created us in his image. We look just like him.
You know what?
This guy's challenged.
You gotta like. I think no. To be fair, until I came into like philosophy, like religion and philosophy, and like all these views on like God's metaphysics. Before I legitimately used to think God was an actual dude in heaven with a beard. I think bro legitimately thinks God is a physical guy in heaven with a beard.
Actually, I used to think the same thing. Like I used to
Bro
think
said
God
he
was,
is.
That's what the Bible says. The Bible says he is.
Wait, hold on.
You see, bro, this was simpler times, man. Coco, before all this philosophy shit, this was simpler times. God was just some dude with a beard in the sky, man. We've made it too complicated.
Okay, wait, hold on, Sinner. I used to be a Roman Catholic, and then I left, and yeah, like I used to think that, like, yeah, like Bobby, yeah, it was simpler times. I used to think that God was like a guy in the sky with like a white beard, and he's watching all of us, and like he's gonna like send us to hell. But then, like, I started studying
Yeah.
and going into the TikTok philosophy space and like, yeah, metaphysics, all that shit, and like,
And TikTok got you to be a little bit smarter, did it?
well, not necessarily. Like there were like debates. There were debates and like conversations outside of TikTok. And like, yeah, I get what you're saying. Like TikTok is not the space.
TikTok is known for the high IQ individuals joining up.
Yeah, like you're right. Like you shouldn't be getting like study from TikTok. You should be checking everything that's said on TikTok. I agree with you. Please, people, do your research. Don't just listen to TikTok debaters. But
This guy just said that God the Father has a physical body, bro.
yeah,
He does.
but
He does not. Revelation
Yeah, that's
22
what
specifically shows that God the Father does not have a specific physical body,
Yeah,
dog.
he does. Read the Bible. You need to read the
Okay,
Bible.
wait. What Bible verses do you have to support that, though?
yeah, let's dive into that. I guess.
I'm in my car. I don't have.
I'm just saying, I'd be really careful, like, of what type of things you're spreading if you're Christian and you're trying to spread the gospel.
I only speak the truth. So I don't have to worry.
No,
wait, hold on.
And you also need to look up what images in Greek and what it means specifically, bro, because or in Hebrew, because it does not mean our physical like manifestation of our blood and
Well, I just
flesh,
read the
dog.
Bible in English, and I understand it in English.
That's why you don't understand.
But
You really don't, brother.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's
Oh, is
so
that
much
why?
context.
Everyone stop. So yes,
It's
whenever
already
you-
been translated
wait,
for me.
Dead stop. Hold on. Whenever you read the Bible, I understand that it's translated, but there's this whole debate amongst TikTok, right? And just really in academic spaces, right? Where there's a hermeneutical principle that you have to have when reading the Bible. There's ancient
Hermeneutical.
Wait, stop. I'm in the middle of a sentence. There's ancient context when it comes to the Bible to really understand what they were trying to say, right? Like the Bible has so many literary devices in it, so many ancient contexts. It's a lot. So you can't just read the English and be like, I understand what these ancient people were saying. Completely different society, completely different culture. So yeah, but also like, if my understanding is correct,
You understand it, but I don't.
no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, like, I'm not saying that. There's a lot I have to study about the Bible, but I'm just saying, like, here's what I do understand. Jesus, if anything, would be the physical incarnation of, like, God. That'd be the closest thing you can get. The Father and the Holy Spirit.
He is not actually God the Father, though. He's God the
Okay,
Son.
well, that's a whole. You're
Which
gonna
is
have to
completely different.
Jesus, stop. Okay, you're gonna have to debate
He's
with the
God
Christian.
from God.
Wait, stop.
Debate me,
Repeatedly.
pick me,
Stop.
pick me.
I'm talking. Let me finish. That's crazy. That's like I guess that's a Christian take that you can have, but I mean, there's Trinitarians, there's Unitarians, there's that.
Queritarians.
Yeah, there's also that. When it comes to the Holy Spirit, my understanding is that's not physical. That's like spiritual. When it comes to the Father, some Christian on the panel explain to me what the Father would be, if not physical or spiritual. Probably spiritual, right?
It depends. Even some views say that God wouldn't exist really anywhere. God, I don't know, like in the world where God exists alone. I'm not too sure where God is. I don't think God is anywhere. He might just be.
Are you speaking from a Christian point of view, by the way?
No, the only two people up here who are Christian are Sinner and BZE.
I'm not. I don't claim Christian, but I claim to try to be a disciple.
Yeah.
My good man.
By the way.
Oh, sorry, Sam. The
That's okay.
definition of a Christian is literally a follower of the teachings of Jesus Christ.
And someone.
I mean, yeah, that's the modern kind of thing, but back in the day, the actual term of it was just specific for a derogatory term, and it was given by the world of like from the people of Acts, you know. So it wasn't founded by God, and people just ran with it just because Peter said, "Do not be what is that word? Hindered by it." You know, so people ran with it from there, and that's why Paul, like, the whole time rejects it. When Agrippa calls him, "Oh, you want me to be Christian?" Paul's like, "Nah, bro, just be like me, just like Jesus did. Follow me and be holy." So I try to just stick with disciple.
And actually, BZ, that is good job. That is perfect. Yes, the word Christian used to be like a slur for people who like followed Jesus. Yeah, and people were literally like unalived in the name of God, and so people didn't like labeling themselves to be Christian. That is perfect insight. Good job on like doing the research on that. And then yeah, some people, some people label themselves as Christian, I guess, because of what you mentioned, but I'd have to do more research. But yeah, that's good. But okay, so so for the Christians up here, I guess we'll go to each one of you. What is the Father? So if the Holy Spirit is like a spiritual thing, if Jesus is like a physical human incarnation, I mean, could one say like the Father is also spiritual? Like, okay, actually, better question. When we get to heaven, and when people get to heaven, they're gonna see Jesus. The Holy Spirit's gonna be like some kind of spiritual thing. Are they gonna see the Father, or like what is the Father? Any Christian can answer.
I don't think you could ever see God. I think God, you can only see like
No one
at
can
most,
ever see God.
you can only see like an avatar that God produced. Like my understanding, if I'm following God's metaphysics properly, God doesn't exist anywhere. He doesn't have form. You could even say that he's like the modal operator to existence or something like that. And I'm not sure I'm saying that right, but
What God are you talking about?
you would like the Christian, at least the Christian God. So if, like, for example, in the if take the Adam and the Garden of Eden,
Yeah.
you can't really say that was God. You could just say that was like an avatar of God that Adam and Eve were like witnessing or something like that.
What? So which one?
To be honest, now that you say that, it sort of seems as if like the Father part of like the Trinity is like some kind of pantheistic thing where God is just like everything around us.
No, they're very careful in the distinction to say they want to say like there's some distinction between like his essence and like something like that. So he's not
kind of important
everywhere.
interruption here. Sinner, are you Scotty?
Apparently so. Currently angry atheist.
Oh, Sinner, you're a guy who says the N-word all the time.
No, you guys keep calling me racist. I'm not racist.
Hold on.
This
Are
is
you?
tangential.
Is one of your accounts Scotty?
No.
No,
Mine,
that didn't sound very
all
confident.
mine have seen sinners now saved. It's all sinner now saved.
Okay, I seriously get tired of like trying to like interact with people and like come to find out that they're okay. He's not, but like come to find out that they're
I
racist.
100% know that angry is just as much of an FBI TikTok sleuth as I am. Just like I caught that one guy, Carl McKenzie, for like pew-pewing a woman in the back in 2018 on Jaren's live. Yeah.
Yeah, but okay, so he's not a racist. Okay, we can move on.
I'm pretty sure that that's still the same guy.
No, when I go to church, my church is filled with every single race in there. I love everybody on.
What were you filled with? What?
My church has every race.
I know he wanted to say it so bad right there.
Oh Jesus!
Say what? My church has every race inside this church.
Wait, can we wait. This is so tangential, right? Maybe
we all respect each other.
Maybe he is a schmacist, right? That's fucking awful, right? But that's not what the conversation is currently about.
Yeah, so let's focus on the conversation.
And, if I want to, can I say something? Because
just disregard the statement. No one cares if it's not true. Just disregard.
Yeah,
the
no,
statement.
it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the other church. It has to do with when I go to church, right?
Bro, God does not dwell in churches no more. Get out of there.
Okay.
When I go to church, I see every single race in my church. But if you go to a mosque or if you go to a synagogue, you're not going to see every race there.
We're good.
That's what tells you that Christianity is the truth.
This is tangential. Just respect Coco's life. It's very simple. It's super simple.
We said we're good. We're good off the race thing. Let's get back to what we were doing.
No, I'm just saying that Christianity is not.
But no one cares. Though. He said stop. Did he or did he not say to stop?
Say stop what?
He said to
Come on,
stop
bro.
talking about this. Yeah. So just
Learn
stop.
Proverbs.
Saying Christianity is no
You
racism in
stop.
Christianity?
I don't know how many more
Okay,
times he's gonna have to ask you.
Learn Proverbs
we're
12:1,
done.
bro. Look at that.
It was very clear. We're moving on from the race thing. I don't do. Am I speaking like Japanese?
Yeah,
Like,
that's. I'm
My
sorry.
favorite race is the 4x100.
This is
okay.
why I don't claim Christianity, bro. Because
I
true Christians can't be
lived to
Proverbs
see
1,
Coco
bro.
make that face. That is my
We're moving on,
favorite thing on
guys.
TikTok.
We're moving
Okay,
on.
in Revelations 22, right? God the Father is looked at as like a rainbow emeraldized glare, so nobody truly sees him. However, the Lamb, Jesus, which is his glorified body, will be on that one throne with the Father, but the Father will not be seen. So it's like Jesus is sitting back while this glare is, right there. And in that Greek wording is latro, which is a specialized worship word specifically for the Father, but the Lamb finally takes it on. When he is in the world, when Jesus is in the world, latru is never, ever shown in the Greek, in any manuscript or nothing until Revelations 22.
Okay. Just to be clear, Sinner, nobody's angry at you because you're saying Christians are not racist. But multiple times I told you we're going to stop talking about race and we're going to move on to the topic. And you continued to talk about race and even tried to make some claim against mosque. When somebody gives you a warning and sets a boundary, shut the fuck up and respect the boundary, please. Thank you. But okay, can anyone vet that information that guy just said about the Greek word? It sounds like you've done your research, and I'm not saying I don't trust you. You're probably right. I'll give it to you. But can anyone else vet that? What passage are we looking at?
It would be Revelations 22. I believe it's 3 anywhere to 21, I believe.
What was you need the Greek?
The Greek is Latreo or Reuo, and it's the only worship that only the Father receives. However, the Father is not receiving. Well, he is receiving it, but Jesus is also receiving it on the throne that they are singularly sitting upon. And when
the Jesus was at the right hand of the Father.
He sits on the throne though when he becomes worshipped, and it says that he's in the Father's lap as the Lamb, but in the meaning it's that he's sitting on the throne as of one, because we're not going to be able to see the Father. The Father will truly never be seen. All we'll be seeing is Jesus, his glorified body. So in that way, he's being worshipped as the Father's being worshipped in that Greek word. And in that Greek word, it's never shown throughout any manuscript or anything within any of Jesus's life on the earth.
So what's the content? Oh, sorry, run that back. What's the contention there?
I guess he's trying to describe the characteristics of the Father, but by any chance, could you send me that via DM? If you follow me, I'll try to follow you back.
You said Revelation 22, what?
22, 3 through 20, anywhere
I'll
there.
get it.
But send me that information, and I could probably look at it. But I probably do want to get to the other guests. But yeah, no, definitely DM me, follow me, and DM me, and I'll take a look into that actually. I don't want to hold the other guests too long, but Sam, what you think about the topic on the screen? Did you have anything for me?
Hi. Yeah, so I'm like a newer Christian. I got baptized a few months ago. And yeah, for me personally, my life has changed for the better since finding God. And I think for me, it was because I was at a place where I just had a lot of hopelessness in life.
Yeah.
And finding God and hearing just the words of hope and going to church, especially the church I was at, I just think it was really amazing for me. And I want everyone to have that experience. And I know not everyone wants to, and that's totally valid. But
yeah, for me it was great.
Okay, so before we get into this, you're like a new Christian, you're kind of just getting into it. I do want to
Yeah.
tell you that like a lot of us on this panel, we're like friends and we like talk about like atheism and Christianity for fun and like we're kind of like
Mhm.
seasoned debaters. So
Okay.
like yeah, like my goal here is not to like deconvert you from Christianity. I have my reasons for not believing in Christianity.
Mhm.
So like it's up to you. I don't want to deconvert you. I'm more so advocating for like critical thinking. I'm not saying like you should be an atheist. I'm
Mhm.
not there yet. Like I'm an agnostic, but like we are gonna like criticize what you said, but like it's up to you. Do you want us to challenge what you said, or give us our thoughts, or what do you want
Yeah.
us to?
Honestly, for me, I like the church I go to, it's non-denominational, and I was a part of this alpha group, which was like deconstructing Christianity and kind of like going over why we think the way that we do. And so I'm always open to like hearing other people's perspectives, and it also helps me understand my own. So
Can I ask
I'm
you a softball?
what?
Yeah. Sure.
I'll give you a softball. Do you think that women are treated the same way in the church as men are?
The church that I go to, actually, there's like a woman co-pastor. So her husband is like the pastor, but she's the co-pastor. And they like believe in empowering women because they think God sees us as like vessels, not just like, oh, you're a man, you have to do this. You're a woman, you have to do this.
Do you think that women and the men in the church are equal, though?
I think so. At least the church I go to. I know like every church is different, but yeah, the church I go to, it is.
Well, Sam, why do you think that it was God that you found and not like some other explanation or feelings that you experienced?
I feel like there's just been a lot of things that have happened that I feel like could only be explained through God.
Like what?
Well, just to give you kind of a personal example, I was in like a pretty hard time in my life, and I opened the Bible for the first time in years, and I saw a passage that was just explaining like God's love and how he knit you in your mother's womb and he knew you, and it was just really incredible, and I feel like that my heart just like fell at peace. So that was just like one personal thing. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like when I pray for peace, I always receive it, and when I pray for his timing, it always just makes sense for me. So
Okay, so I guess I'm gonna take it easy. I'm not gonna go like super hard and like go like debate mode on you. But yeah, I'll throw you some softballs. And then ultimately
Okay.
like all I want you to take from this is like, don't be afraid to like question your belief if you're like seeking the truth, right? Like always ask questions and like I even think there are parts of the Bible where God says like it's okay to ask questions. And
Yeah.
yeah, like if you end up deciding to be a Christian at the end of the day, that's totally fine. Like that's what works for you. If you end up deciding to be agnostic, nihilist, like atheist, then that's totally fine. But everyone should find out what works for them. But
Yeah.
like,
Wait, I'm sorry, Sam. I got a phone call when you were saying that, but you said you opened the Bible and you read something like presumably that like related to your experience.
Oh, yeah, I was just saying I opened the Bible. I think I want to say the first chapter of James, but it was just explaining like how God knit you in your mother's womb. And it just like really, yeah, it was just really like touching for me in that moment.
So let me ask you this: like, let's say you found out without a doubt that God doesn't exist and Christianity is false. Like, how would you explain that experience?
I mean, I guess for me, where I'm at right now in life, it's the only thing that does make sense to me.
No, I know, but let's just say like you found out without a doubt that Christianity does not exist. How would you explain that experience of opening up the Bible and reading that verse and relating to it?
I don't know. That's why I feel like the
Well, just
only
take a shot. Like, how would you explain it?
it could be that I just happened to open that Bible, or maybe it was creased in that exact spot. I mean, there are
So
like,
like a coincidental kind of thing.
yeah, I mean, and that is of course a possibility, but just not to me.
Okay, but I mean, if it's a possibility, it's a possibility, right? It's like if it's possible that that God doesn't exist, and it was a coincidental occurrence that you opened that Bible and that you had some like emotional reaction to it, all that could have happened without God, then it's possible that God doesn't exist, right?
It's possible. I think like if you haven't had the personal experience with it and like you don't know what it felt like. And like I said, I'm really not a debater, so maybe this isn't the
Trust
right
me when I
life
say
for
that
me.
everybody up here is being
Yeah,
as
Forrest,
nice
just stay
as
quiet.
you. All right, let's get you back down in the comments, bud.
Wait, what did he say?
No, Kylo and I fuck with each other no matter what. Yeah, it's just we're on the next level. Kylo once took the Muslim position and I took the Christian position because the rest of the panel didn't know how to fucking debate. Sam, we're giving you like a really easy time here. I don't want to dissuade you. Like, I'm glad that whatever happened for you. But I mean, there's pretty naturalistic explanations, and it seems like the Christianity here could just be a placebo. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm happy for the good things that happened to you, but they could easily be explained naturalistically.
Yeah, I have like an argument for like a situation like Sam. Like I used to maybe maybe not divine hiddenness, but like some intuition about like communication. But Sam, let me ask you, do you find it weird that but it seems often the case that most people communicate with God when they are like not in the best part of their lives? You find that kind of coincidental?
Sorry, so your question is it a coincidence that when people are like at a hard time in their life, they find God?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that like when you're down, you want something to believe in. And I feel like most people want something bigger than themselves. So that's why people do go to find like a faith or a religion.
Why is it though that they're always at their lowest? Like, do you see how religion preys on the emotionally vulnerable people, the physically vulnerable people, and if you believe in spirits, like spiritually vulnerable people, religion seems to prey on people at their lowest moments. I've never heard of anybody that like won the lottery and they're like, yes, now I believe in God. Like, I've never heard of that. It's always like when people are like vulnerable, emotional, like, and despondent that they seem to quote unquote find this religion. Why does God find people or people find God when they're at their lowest moments?
I mean, and
predatory,
that's a good question. I think you could look at it like that, or you could look at it like it's the opposite, where there's this hope that's available for you when you're at that point in your life, when nothing else is making sense and you find something that does.
You say that about any religion?
Yeah, I could. Okay. And I've honestly, before going like into the Christian faith, I was researching other religions because I wanted to find what felt right,
So what makes this one feel more right than other religions?
And also, like, that's awesome. Like, good for you for being like a skeptical thinker and like considering like other options and like studying it and really trying to get to a conclusion.
Yeah, thank you.
What made this religion feel more right than others? Like how did that analysis work out?
Well, I guess it was. See, like I said, I'm not a debater. I don't have like the best answers. So, and I know just saying like a feeling isn't enough really, but I guess it really was that for me. Like I was praying to different things, and the only time I ever really felt something was when I was praying to God,
Is it okay to is it the case that maybe is your household, friends, family, community, would you say they're mostly Christian? And you
I
grew
would
up
say
in that?
most of my friends are atheists, but since going to church, I have like a good amount of Christian friends now, but it's pretty 50-50.
Yeah, but like overall, the overall country, overall like maybe states.
No, I live in a very non-Christian area.
Cage, go ahead and just destroy Sam's entire religious basis right now.
Yeah, run the special Agent Oso argument on a brand new atheist.
Yo, if there's one thing that brings me joy, it's Coco's face when I say shit just to evoke a reaction.
Like, no,
I have the
like,
best
Say some.
argument for
I
God.
do it on purpose too. I wait till he's like not looking at the screen or something, and then like he's got this like deer in the headlights look like please don't tell me he just said that.
okay, look, Eddie, look. If a Christian, like any other Christian that joins the panel and they're like cocky and they're like God is real and like atheists suck, destroy them. But this is not a situation to which
Sam,
we
just formal Cage right now. Like we'll all get off the panel.
There is something.
Sam,
Cage.
what's gonna be the inference rule for the argument for God's existence? Go
Oh
ahead.
my God.
Are you a relaxed moral realist, Sam?
Do you think Sam studies like? Wait, I don't know. Wait, Sam, have you studied like
name
philosophy
10
or,
books.
No, I haven't.
Sam, just pick up a logic textbook.
No,
all right? That's what we need you to do.
Coco might be Cage. Forrest might be right here. Let me.
Forrest really just said name 5 songs.
No, Coco, I want to try something. Cage, do you have like a gentle argument that some layman Christian will, when they say something like, "Hey, I believe in God because I don't know, he talked to me in my sleep or something, or like I have some personal." You have like I used to have something somewhere, but I forgot what it was. But you have like some kind of intuition pump against that. You could run against that kind of like dialogue, Cage.
Are you asking me if I have, like, literally, like, if a 5-year-old came up to me and said, I have an argument, I know God exists because he spoke to me, I would just respond with, I know Superman's real because I saw him on TV.
Yes. Looking for something more like.
Okay, I actually have an example. So I prayed and I was like, God, if you're real, show me a sign. And right after I said that, okay, and I know this sounds ridiculous,
Yeah.
but this bird came up to my window and started like pecking at my window. And I'm not kidding, every single day, and I have video footage of this. Like every single day for months, this bird came and just was like tapping at my window. And it was the same bird every single time. And
Well, okay.
I know like that sounds ridiculous, but honestly, it made sense for me. I was like, okay, this is something else,
Well,
wait,
this
actually,
is
wait, hold on.
Kill the bird.
Wait, actually, like Loki, this is kind of perfect because, like Loki, like I've been waking up recently, and I'm not even like joking you. Like literally, I've been hearing birds tap on my window. But like,
wow.
Hold on. Okay, so obviously, like when it comes to reasons to believe in Christianity, right? Like emotion is probably maybe like a form of evidence that would slightly shift the nail towards religion, but also it's kind of like I don't mean this in an offensive way, but like it's kind of like the weakest form of evidence, in comparison to like historical data or like scientific data or like other things, right? So
Yeah,
emotion,
no, I get that.
so emotion could be an indicator that God exists, but like it could also be an indicator for like other religions, right? Or like deceiving demons or spirits or stuff like that. But then when it comes specifically to like this bird example, no, I'm an agnostic, so like I'm open to the possibility that like it could have been the Christian God that sent this bird to your window. But like, have you considered like it could just be like coincidence or like naturalistically, like birds might just be flying to your window and possibly making a nest there and wanting to like lay eggs and like start a family by your window.
Can I ask her a question?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh, wait, actually,
Well,
answer my question.
Go ahead and answer his question.
And then we'll get to the question.
Okay. Honestly, and I did consider that, like, I don't know. Looking back, I guess, like, maybe if it just happened a few times, I could see that. But, like, there was a few times where I was, like, in the kitchen, and so not even anywhere near my bedroom. And, like, the bird literally would just come up to the window. So, I don't know. It felt like so much of a coincidence that like every single day, even if I wasn't in the spot that I normally like would wake up in, it would still like find a way. I don't know. I know it sounds superstitious, but
Yeah, and also there are articles that have been written on this where like our brains tend to like recognize like patterns and try to assign some kind of like meaning to it. Like we might hear our favorite song on the radio at a peculiar like coincidental time, and we might be like, oh my gosh, this might be fate or destiny or like some kind of like omen or something. But it might just not be the case. It could be like just it could just be like perfect timing, right? And there could be no meaning attached to it. But also, like, speaking of this bird, like every time that it would tap at your window, like, how are you identifying that it's the same exact bird every single
so
time?
it was like a northeastern. What is it? It had like the same coloring. So I mean, it could have been a different bird of the same like type, but it was the same type of bird every time.
Yeah, which yeah, and like this is awesome. It's awesome that you're like realizing this. But yeah, like an atheist might look at this, right, and like go through that critical thinking, and might come to the conclusion that like a naturalistic explanation is equally as likely as like a Christian explanation. Like,
Yeah, and
mean,
I can see that too. I think for like from what I've gathered, God is very personal, and of course this is just like what I believe, but like I think that God is so personal and knows each of us so well that he would give like someone else might look at that and not connect that to God, but
Oh, I think I have something now that might be interesting. So okay,
wait, hold on, wait. Before you go, let her finish, and then you can go after. Or actually, wait, let her finish, and then that guy has to ask his question, and then you can go after that.
Okay, yeah, I think that like God is really personal and he knows like each of us so well that he knew that like the bird would be something for me because birds are just like I love birds, whereas someone else it could, it could be a different thing. So that's kind of just how I looked at it, but yeah.
Okay, and then ask your question. Whoever was wanting to ask a question the other time.
I think Biz.
Was it you, Biz, or was it someone else that wanted to ask a question?
It was Biz, but not the BZ.
Okay, go ahead, Bobby.
Yeah, no, it was.
Oh man.
Oh, you go for it. Go for it.
Okay, all right. So Sam, you just got into this church. It's a non-denominational church, correct?
Yeah.
And I'm guessing they've taught you, about having a relationship with God and all this extra stuff, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so can you have you read a lot of your of scripture?
Not a lot. I do like the morning devotionals and stuff like that, but I'm not like well versed yet.
So I used to be in your kind of same boat until I read where Paul and actually Jesus' specific talkings that he's no longer in temples, meaning churches and stuff anymore. He dwells in our heart after he passed or unalived himself for us. And when I went to actually check and see what's going on within Matthew, I see everyone goes to Matthew 7. I'm pretty sure your pastor has once or twice went to Matthew 7. And the only thing is they teach it so incorrectly. The wording that they say with depart from me, and even in James with draw near to me, nothing explains a true relationship. If you actually look at the real wording, which is ginosko in the Greek, it means obey or to know. And if you know Jeremiah 22:16, it actually teaches you what it means to know. So when Jesus is speaking in Matthew 7, it's a foretelling of Matthew 25:41 through 46. And in this foretelling...
Wait, hold on, wait, pause. She is a beginner, so like this is like a bit complex, but she might have to take notes on everything that you're saying. She's probably not going to remember like everything.
Yeah. So in the foretelling of Matthew 25, of Matthew 25, 41 through 46, Jesus is speaking and separating his sheeps from the goats, right? And in these speakings, he's telling, these people are telling him like, yo, like said your name. I had a relationship with you. I did this. And Jesus is still telling them, depart from me, because he never knew them. Meaning, if you go to Jeremiah 22:16, you'll know the definition of what he meant by no.
What is that?
So,
Okay.
wait, so we'll summarize that. Give us like give us a synopsis of what you just said.
Okay, so basically, the church always teaches the building, because this is a modern teaching. It just happened, and all of a sudden things are booming, right? You just see churches everywhere, and the Bible everywhere, and teenagers and everybody, right? And the reason being is because back in the day there were no butts in seats, so they had to come up with something to claim relationship, which they used depart from me and draw near to me. So those two count as, oh, let me get a relationship with God. But nothing in the actual scripture teaches that. It teaches gnosko, which means to know and or obey. So what they're teaching with Matthew 7 is, depart from me, I never knew you. But in that true saying of never knew you, you have to find, remember, we read the Bible as Isaiah says, here a little, there a little. Right? So when we want to know what no really means, you go to Jeremiah 22:16, and it tells you what the definition of know him means.
Okay, so Sam, what did you get from that?
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I feel really confused.
It's a lot.
Yeah, just because I guess like what I think that you were what I'm gathering from what you just said is that it's more important to like obey the scriptures and follow them, because that's what it means to know. Am I wrong on that? Is that what you were saying?
Yes, that's incorrect. So
Okay.
Write these down. Jeremiah 22:16. That is what it literally means to know him. And Matthew 25:41 through 46, which is why Jesus will call you a goat. It's not about having a relationship with him like these buildings are teaching you. It's not about anything like that. And it's funny because Paul in Galatians explains it so simple. And when you read the Greek, you understand even more, because it's telling you that everything is of love. So if I see right now with the controversial compass, I see him in a loving way as Jesus did. So I see Jesus within him, whether he's my enemy or not. So therefore, I'm not going to try to commit the sin of anything against him. But once we see this is what we know destroys any sinful action, which Paul explains this in Galatians. He says specifically that this is the destroying of any sinful nature, or something like that. It's Galatians 5:16.
I'm not even too sure. So, because the whole point of the argument is to understand, like, hey, is her intuition true? Is her intuition true tracking, or like, can we trust this intuition, or why, and something like that? Like, or if God did reveal himself, maybe if God revealed himself to Sam, why doesn't he? Why isn't the case that he couldn't reveal himself in the same way to other people? Or if it is the case that God does reveal himself to other people, why is it lost? Then when God sends a message, does he intend to make it clear to the recipient in a way that is undoubtedly clear that is God that sent them a message? Or is it, or when does God send a message, is it just like something that the recipient would just like throw away? Like, putting it away. When you, I'm assuming when God sends a message, right? You want to say that God intends to convert. When God sends a message, God intends to like have you understand what's being transmitted, I guess. Like there's some intention there. Like this is a message from God, right?
I feel like it's I don't know. I think that, and maybe BZ has a better response to this because, like I said, I'm newer, but I feel like he will give you things, and then it's up to the person
Yeah, but
to.
how do we even get to that point to know that he gave you something? How do we even get there? Like let's say let's say that you understand it, right? But how do we know that he's giving us anything?
So can I chime?
Yeah.
So I have a huge testimony. It's actually on the news and stuff back in 1993. But I'm not going to get into that.
I understand that. No, wait. Let me guess. I get that you guys, God sent you guys a message, and the message was clearly understood by y'all.
Well, mine wasn't a message. I was barely 4 years old. I was stuck in a water tower by one of my foster parents because they were trying to unalive me because they didn't take me to one of my foster visits. And somehow, some way, I'm 4. I don't know who God is. I don't know nothing. But somehow, some way, something internally made me shout out to somebody, help me, something help me. And out of nowhere, I reach into the water because it was probably around maybe a little higher than my waist, and I reached down for some reason and I pulled down a white one of those Gideon Motel Bibles, and it was not fully dry, but it was somewhat dry. And for some reason, I held on to that book, and out of nowhere, the Kern County Sheriff's Department, I heard radios and everything, and they took me out, and come to find out, I was in there for 2.5 days. And you can actually look this up. This is the truth. From there, I got taken into, again, custody and stuff. And I always wondered where that little book went. That book went to my real parents for some reason. And my mom actually showed it to me when I turned 18. And I kind of got emotional and was like, where the heck did you get this? Because it sent a memory into me. But I never truly started focusing on God until that revelation.
Okay, wait, hold on, pause real quick. Okay, so something you said was very curious. Okay, Bobby, you said something and I was like, wait, what if it's the case that God communicates to everybody in their own way, in a way that only that person can understand, but like the outside person won't get it because like the message was only meant for that individual, specifically customized for like that individual.
It seems like specifically so I'm always wondering because I feel like I'm left with two views. Either God is constantly sending out message to everybody, and for whatever reason, it's at the fault of the recipient to just not, to not understand the message. But then what you're always saying there is that God is sending out message knowing that some people wouldn't understand it. Like God is sending a message that knowing that they won't be able to translate it. And I think that is kind of harsh because it could be the case that if God was to constantly send out this message to these people, they could form toxic views or make toxic claims. Or either best case scenario, no, they never get the message. Best case scenario, they never know God to send the message. Worst case scenario, they could assume a message is being sent, but it's like twisted in some toxic manner. So it's like an argument almost about clarity, right? Because that's one way to go about it. And then the second way would be like God is specifically only sending messages to people that he wants to send messages to, and everyone else he doesn't care. Like he just only sending messages to those that he wants to save, and everyone else he doesn't care to save.
So remember, that there's children of God and there is children of the devil. Now we're all created under the source, but once you start doing the sinful nature, and remember, God knows all, he knows that you're the children of the devil. However, you still have a chance to come back to God and get a new heart, as it says, and you become a children of his, and those of his know his voice.
No, you're not attacking what I'm saying. What I'm saying is very specific. Like you and Sam, you guys somehow God communicated in a way to you that even though it was like kind of like not the most efficient way to communicate, it was still somehow it was understood to you guys to that. All right, this is
So
God.
can I be honest with you before you continue? The word specifically shows that and I'm probably going to get hate for this, but the word specifically shows that God left and sent us a comforter, which is the Holy Spirit inside of us, and to acknowledge his holy word. But it does say in scripture that the angels are still here and they can send us signs or show up as actual humans. So I don't say God specifically sent me a sign or this and that. However, I do go by scripture and say that an angel, helped me out.
Right. My point here is saying that there's two cases for you and Sam's view, right? The first case for like Sam, is to say that it's God. Well, the first easy case for Sam's view is like, well, it seems to be the case that God is sending out messages to people, to specific people like Sam. So it could be the case that even if I was to try to, receive a message from God, I will never get one simply because God never intended to send the message to me, right?
Yeah, I don't
He
think
only
that.
wants to send him. I only want to send a message to Sam.
Yeah, I
Therefore,
definitely don't think that.
yeah, so that could be one, and of course that has its entailments there. The second view is God is sending messages to everybody, but for whatever reason, he's sending messages knowing that the recipient will either not understand the message or even worst case scenario, misinterpret the message into like something toxic.
Exactly.
And then
yeah, okay. With that, right? So like that's where like it confuses me because like okay, so let's say we grant that option. Let's say God is sending messages to everybody, but some people are just like becoming atheist and like misinterpreting the message. Like it's like why couldn't God just like send a message to somebody and then like why couldn't God send a message to Sam, right? And then Sam tells us her story, and it's such a clear and like the most amazing message sent to a human being ever that it literally would be convincing enough for us to become like drastically Christian. Like like how God is like very convoluted with his messaging, and like we're having a hard time parsing it out between like naturalism and like an actual message from God.
Can I answer that?
But sure.
Because so that's the point of Matthew 28:19, and everybody says, oh, it's a again it's a relationship with God. But when you're helping the homeless, when you're talking to the justified, when you are going and seeing the prisoner, when you're welcoming the foreigner, those are the fruits of the spirit that people are talking about. Those create disciples. It's not having a relationship with God. It's obeying. And again, that's what Jeremiah 22:16 is explaining.
The point is you can go, Sam, but the point is being missed. But yeah, you can go, Sam.
No, the point I'm trying to make is that what he's saying is, why didn't they send that to Sam, and it resonate with me? Maybe if he walked with Sam and seen Sam loving the homeless, doing this and this, and just mentions, it's not by me.
I would have done
this.
I would have worded it slightly differently from Coco, because like in the second view, right? The second view I proposed, it seems the case that God is sending all this message to everybody, but yet he's sending it with the knowledge that most may not, best case scenario, most will simply miss it, or never understand or ignore it for whatever reason.
Because words
and maybe
don't resonate.
And some people ignore their whole life. Or even worst case scenario, though he's sending it with the knowledge that if he sends this message could be the reason that somebody's child is unalived, and he still chooses to send that message.
Words don't resonate with everybody though, so it has to be done by action, which is the point.
It's an
of
argument
Matthew.
it's an argument of clarity, right? Like it could be the case that our God could send a message so clear to the end user that there shouldn't be any room for like
Misinterpretation.
misinterpretation. And if it's so if it's that clear, there'll be like ways to like discern
But freedom of choice goes
discern
out the
liars
window.
from truth tellers or whatever.
But then freedom of choice goes out the window.
How?
Then you're like, oh, there's a God. Never mind.
Why will
it wouldn't be out of it wouldn't be out of your own heart. It would be out of your brain.
That's not a good argument, but I'll tell you why later. But let's Sam go real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, Sam. But also, yeah, I have a counter too as well. Me and Bobby are probably thinking the same thing.
Okay, well, I was gonna say to what BZ was saying. I think that's why when you have a relationship with God, and that was the biggest change that I saw in myself, was like all of my selfishness. I mean, and of course, maybe not all of it, but a lot of my selfishness just went away because when I felt the love of God, like I didn't put myself first. And one thing that like our church says a lot is it's not thinking less of yourself, it's thinking of yourself less. So instead of putting like your own needs before others, really like prioritizing others before yourself. And that's the biggest difference I've seen in my friendships with my Christian friends now, is like just this selfless love that I think you really get when you have a relationship with God. And so I guess it kind of goes hand in hand with like following the scriptures and also having a relationship with God. I just don't necessarily think it's like one or the other.
What maybe like but Sam, do you understand like what I'm talking about here though, right?
I was responding to like what he was saying before you said that.
Yeah, but that's kind of curious. What do you think about what I said about these two cases and how God sends messages?
I don't think that there's anything special like about me, and that's why God decided that he wanted to show me that sign that really resonated with me. But I do think that there was probably a ton of signs before I really wanted a relationship with Jesus, because in the Bible it says like Jesus is chasing after his children and we're all made in the image of God. So like I personally think that like, yeah, Jesus is probably chasing after you.
Right.
And I mean, not probably, I think he is. And
in your view, you're saying that God constantly sends out messages, but the recipient will somehow
miss it
or ignore it until they
honestly,
decide not to. Is that what you're saying?
And maybe it's because of God's plan and it's not meant to be like linear. So maybe you had to miss those messages for certain things to happen in the way that they did. And later on in life, you can look back and be like,
so
oh.
So I think, would you say that me as an atheist, God is sending me messages?
Yeah, I think so.
What if I remain atheist my whole life? Is it a fault of me? Like, is it a fault of me like ignoring God's messages? Like would you say I'm willfully like trying to ignore God in your view?
I don't want to say like that you're willfully ignoring God. I would say maybe you're just not open to that right now, and that's okay.
And what do you mean by not being open?
Like if your worldview is that you don't think that there is any God and that like all the coincidences that happen in your life.
I have to believe in God for God to send me a message?
No, I'm saying I think that maybe if you're looking at it just from like the point of view that everything is a coincidence that's happening, that even if, when he's sending signs, maybe you're just not able to like recognize that they are signs from him because you're just viewing it as a coincidence.
I'm not the man, make sure. We agree, you agree at least God doesn't send messages to certain people, right? God, you agree in your view that God sends messages to everybody.
Yeah, I think he would send them to everyone.
And so it is the case that God has been sending you messages. It's just that you've been ignored in the past. It's just until now, right?
Yeah, or maybe not even necessarily ignoring, but not recognizing.
All right. So I'm more curious about someone that's an atheist that's been an atheist their whole life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then some non-resistant, non-believer kind of atheist. Maybe let me not even use that word. Let me just use an agnostic, right?
Okay.
And so this is non-resistant, agnostic. Just doesn't really. You would, in your view, you would say this person, right, is just not open-minded.
Yeah, actually, this argument, I actually like this argument, the non-resistant non-believers argument, but like, I've heard it recently, and like, yeah, it's brought some questions to my mind. But go ahead.
And some people don't believe in, like some Christians don't believe in non-resistant non-believers. They just don't think such people exist. I don't know why, but I guess it's just maybe from their priors. It just doesn't make sense for a non-resistant non-believer to exist. I'm just not sure why, but that's a separate conversation. Like, but Sam, this person is agnostic their whole life, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just say, what would you say about them? I don't want to like strawman you. Like, what would you say about that individual?
Well, and I'm not gonna lie, I've definitely had the thought before of like, okay, if I was born in, let's say, like a Muslim country in a Muslim household, like, would I carry the same beliefs that I have right now? Or, so I don't know. I guess that's just something that I have to think about.
Yeah. And like so basically what we're discussing is like sort of like divine hiddenness, but it's like the question like if God wants a relationship with us and he's seeking after us, there might be some individuals who are like not resistant and they're seeking God, but they just don't see God ever in the
It's like
universe.
I'm kind of like combining like a message for like clarity and divine hiddenness in there.
Yeah, given that, right, like is it a failure on the person's part, like
Give me a
maybe
verse that
missing the
explains a relationship with
Wait,
God.
hold on. So if we have non-resistant unbelievers who are open-minded, but like they just don't see a reason why God could exist, like it kind of like begs the question, like, is it a failure on like the person's part in interpreting the message that God is sending this individual, or is God like so hidden and kind of not precise with his messaging that it's a failure on God's part to properly communicate with the individual?
Yeah, it's almost like a modified divine hiddenness kind of argument, but mostly focused on like clarity of messaging, like this whole God sending messages to people.
God is omniscient, so he has a foretold plan, and that plan, if you align in it, is what it is, and that's the point.
Does that plan involve evil being done to you? Because you can't be good and bad. You can't. So like you
Evil
just
is
doing good.
evil is done by the chooser. It's not done by God.
What is the root cause of evil? What is the root cause of evil?
You're muffled.
D Black, you're very muffled. But like that, before you guys go on, I guess you guys are just not. I'm not too sure if I'm doing, because again, the purpose of is just to say something like this. Hey, you believe God sends messages, right? Then there seem to be two routes that's going on. What explains the existence of like the agnostic or the atheist? If God is sending clear messages to people, right? What explains that existence? Well, we have two things that's going on. God is specifically sending messages to people, just to specific people, right? Not everyone. That's one way. So even if like me, the agnostic or atheist, try to reach out, God never sent me a message. Two, right? The second explanation would be, well, God is sending messages to everybody, but it seems to be like some fault of the recipient of not being fully able to like understand or analyze the message. So best case scenario, they ignore it. Worst case, they twist it into something toxic.
Yeah, I
Right.
mean, if BZ wants to give his thoughts on that, because honestly, like I said, I really don't know. I'm not sure.
Or like a third option could be like maybe God is just like sending faulty messages, but I don't know.
No, well, I don't know if the Christian wants to say that, but Is I can is the second option kind of well, I mean, I guess you could say that's good. God, like some deceptive God, but I'm not
So
too sure. Because
if an atheist doesn't believe in God, right? Let's just they don't believe in God, which is crazy because science fails without God. Like that's just 100% because a triangle is always a triangle, right? And
but
you
that's not
need,
the point of the conversation. If you want to ask, if you want to go and shift the conversation into like God's existence, we could go into that. We're just saying like
but the message,
what
but
explains
I'm
the
explaining
atheist.
the message of an atheist doesn't believe in God, so he's never even gonna be able to see the actual signs. He's just going to live his life the way, or her life the way they want to, whether it be by choice or not. And that is going to be the works salvation. So God's going to see that as works salvation anyway. So he's going to just ignore it, just like he did with the Pharisees. Again, we're going back into scripture, but they didn't see any signs, right? It was just Jesus in front of them. That was the point of ignorance.
If you choose the second option in the case that God is sending out these messages, right? And if for some reason only few people understand it, and the other people don't seem to understand it. Now it seems to be the default, some issue of the faculty of the recipient. Maybe they're slow for whatever reason. It wouldn't make sense to like condemn someone for simply being slow and not simply like having no reason to believe in God simply because they don't, maybe they're not like down in their last luck to
So
believe in God.
I get what you're saying, but Romans 1 refutes that because it literally says to look around. Like you can't say there is no God because of what is around. Who made the mountains? Who made the ocean?
Yeah, well, why do I have to believe? Why do I have to believe?
Because there has to be a builder, just like
Yeah, but you have to
there
give
has
an
to be a
you have to
lawmaker.
give an argument for that.
You don't believe that you have to have a builder?
No.
So a building,
Look,
so a building.
we could have, we know buildings exist because we have builders, but mountains seem to exist naturally. They don't seem to require a builder.
But they come from matter. So where'd the matter come from?
Yeah, why it could just always been the case that they existed, or they could also
exactly. So there has to
take
be a
some.
creator. So there has to just like
There could be. We could posit any
a
kind of.
source.
No, BG. We can posit any kind of like X reason, X justification for
Why
a reason.
isn't there any mountains in Hollywood right now?
BG, you're missing the point. You're missing the look.
I
If you
think
want
you're misunderstanding the point.
If you want to give an argument specifically for a God with a mind that decides to create, right? That's a separate thing. If you want to ask me, well, what explains stars and planets? I could give you like
You can only give an explanation.
You could give me the science explanation of it.
That you have.
Yeah.
You could give me the science explanation.
Yeah, I could give you like the scientific and just say like, hey,
but science falls apart.
No, I don't need. Look, I could build on intelligence. I could just say, hey, there's this necessary entity that like maybe like quantum fields or whatever.
Let me ask you.
Even when you go to the quantum level, you start to see things that are very spiritual at the quantum level.
Hold on. Nick, can you tell me like what a Higgs field is?
Why does that matter with what I just said?
Because you're saying, well, when you look at the quantum level, right, you start to see things.
When you look at the
Can you tell me what like a Higgs field is? Because if you're going to talk about physics, if you're going to talk about physics, right, and quantum mechanics, then I would hope that you have like very basic knowledge of it. Can you tell me what like a Higgs field is?
I hope that like whenever you understand a conversation,
so if you don't know about the subject, no, I'm not asking you about specific details, right? About everything.
Right, I'm
asking you for something extremely basic.
You don't even know what I'm saying.
And if you don't know the basics of the field, then I don't think you should comment on things that are occurring within the field.
Do you even know what I'm saying? Okay? Do you even know what I'm saying, first of all?
Yeah, I'm assuming that you're just saying that,
science,
even when you look even when you look at the
But you
quantum
obviously
level,
don't.
right? Even when you look at the quantum level, you see things that don't add up, right?
Right.
Can you
Is
tell me
that not
anything
true?
about? Can you tell me anything about basic
Can
quantum
you not have a
mechanics?
conversation about what I'm saying?
No, I don't
So
think that you can
is
have
it
a
not?
conversation about something that you have
Is it
no
not
knowledge
true?
of.
Is it not true at the quantum level things are
Can
basically
you do
unexplainable?
you know anything about quantum mechanics?
Are you going to
How is
answer my
that the case?
question?
How is that the case? How is it that at the quantum level nothing's explainable?
First of all, do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Also,
you literally
really quick.
just said that I did.
Sorry about that, guys. My iPad went off.
What's up, Kojo?
Continue.
You still haven't answered my question, though.
Yeah, I did, and then you just started talking again, so I assumed that you
actually
agreed,
didn't.
right?
You kept saying the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Go back into
Like
your little hole.
if you don't know about the basics of the subject, then you probably should.
I don't have to know every single thing about physics.
No,
to
you should
that
know.
at the
You should.
quantum
I know that. I know that.
level-
I'm not saying that. But you should at least. Can you tell me like a single like physics paper, or it's just any
What you're
physicist?
You're
Can
implying
you tell me
that
like
I'm
any
stupid
physicist
about
that you've read?
quantum and physics.
I'm not. I don't know where you're getting that. You
Listen
probably
to
have
listen to how condescending you sound. Listen to how condescending you
talking
sound.
about Higgs field? Are you talking
I
about
hate
Higgs
to get into
field?
the meta, right? I'll shut the fuck up, but I just
I'm
don't
not
think that
trying
you
to
should
even
talk
talk
about a
about
subject. Listen, hold on.
All right,
I
guys.
just
All
don't
right,
think
guys.
that you should talk about a
Okay.
subject.
Okay, come to a stop. Come to a stop. Come to a stop.
I'll go on mute,
You know about
right?
X field.
Because
Alright.
I went a little bit into meta
That's
here.
not what
I
I'm
just
talking
don't
about.
want you. Listen,
Hold on,
I
guys.
just don't
Come to a
think.
stop.
I'll shut up here. I just don't think that it's smart to have a conversation about a subject that you have no knowledge in. That's all my point was. But I'll shut the fuck up now.
Okay, so Sam, so you see like
judgment that you just don't even know about.
wait, hold on. So you see like a lot of us are in the debate space on TikTok and we study like physics and science and religion. Our levels vary. Okay, Seb is very smart, but so basically like what he's trying to get at, Nick, is that it seems as if like he's trying to ask like, have you studied like quantum physics? And like we hope that you're not making the mistake of, because you don't understand something about quantum physics, you're going to assign some kind of like spiritual meaning to it, and like that's not really like justification
No
for
one
the
knows what I'm saying because I never.
Wait, hold on.
what I was
Just really
saying.
quick, like hear what I'm saying, right? Like,
Okay,
just because
I'll
you
hear what you're saying. Since you don't want to hear what I'm saying.
wait, no, it's like I never said that, but I'm just hoping
That's
that
what-
you're not
I mean,
saying
that's-
that. Wait, hold
You're
on.
saying a bunch of things that I never even said.
Wait, just slow down. All we're hoping is that like you're not saying that because we don't know about something in regards to like the quantum level, that it must be something like spiritual that's going on. And like, okay, Seb was just trying to see like how much effort you've put into actually studying quantum physics, rather than just saying like, I don't know what's happening here, so it must be something spiritual.
I never even said that.
Well, I mean, you were saying like, you know, spiritual things are happening at the quantum level.
What I'm saying is at the quantum level, things start to not make sense. Would you agree or disagree to that?
Yeah, but what about that would make it
that's
spiritual?
all I'm saying. We don't have to go any further about all my knowledge in physics. Like, we're not talking about that.
Well, yeah, but,
my point was that you're
the problem
saying
is why are you
that.
calling it spiritual?
No, not that.
Because
My point
the reason
was.
why I go
Hold
towards
on.
the
My point wasn't
spiritual-
about spirituality. My point was that you're saying at the quantum level, things become very hard to explain, right? How do you know that?
Absolutely.
How do you know
That's-
that? Can you give me like a
because
paper? Like
I've
what have
seen-
you read about this, about quantum mechanics, that leads you to this
I've
conclusion
read
that
many things about
that
it,
within quantum
but-
mechanics, nothing can be explained, or things are extremely difficult to explain.
Okay, first of all, like, do you realize that like even scientists cannot explain things at the quantum
What's that?
level?
Give me like 2 or 3
I
relevant
don't
scientists.
have to. Do you not
But
understand what I'm
My point
saying?
is that you're talking about a subject,
I'm
right?
not a
and
philosopher
you don't.
in, like,
I'm not. This
physics,
isn't about
you know what I'm
philosophy.
saying?
This isn't about philosophy. This is about science here. This is about physics. Listen.
Do you not have any, like,
my
critical
point is
thinking right now?
is that my point is that you're making a comment on a specific subject.
Can I
that
not make a
you don't
comment?
have that you don't have right? That you don't have adequate knowledge about.
to be able to make the comment,
This
right?
is
It's
not a
analogous.
test.
It's analogous, right, to like me being a football fan, and then I go over to like an NBA game and I start talking shit on the Warriors, but I don't know fuck all about basketball. I don't even know the rules about basketball.
Quantum leveling.
How do you know it's true? Can you give me like
do I have to know
hold on,
everything
can you
about
give me
basketball?
So
you're saying that it's true,
to
but
know
you don't
that
have
basketball
like
goes into
any
it.
relevant.
Okay. To be fair, we could build metaphysics. Like it's all started with BZ. He's saying BZ's argument was to say, hey, of course, obviously God exists. Look at the mountains. Look at trees. Who created trees? Who created mountains? This has to be signs of God. And we're trying to tell him, hey, that we could not need to posit at least a God with a mind that decides to create that. We could have other arguments or other reasons to believe in such things, right? Like, so why you have to give me a reason why I should assume just because trees exist, therefore God exists?
No, so sorry, Bobby, for coming in and just like completely switching the subject. I just wanted to show, like, I don't
know.
The
I don't know how you
argument,
went. I don't know how you got into quantum mechanics.
that argument could be from cause or just intelligent design. I don't know which one.
It's like let bro have it.
I'm asking him. No, I'm asking BZ. Is he using like the intelligent design?
Clearly, he's using intelligent design. He's not using like the first way or whatever.
Cause. Okay. Like
I'm trying to use intelligent design, just an absolute mind, because for my what I was saying, which me and Forrest were going over, which again is just what I've studied. You guys probably are far above me on it, but the point of that a triangle is always a triangle. How do we know that it's always a triangle? Because why? Math was always math, right? 2 + 2 was always 4. It's just, if you say it was a construct or it was, something humans made, well, then if you say that, that means that the triangle could be changed, which is a fallacy. It can't. And if you say that, then it automatically gives that there has to be a lawmaker. We just found it, right?
No.
So math is always math. The triangle is always a triangle. Stuff like that.
Yeah, but I'm not too sure. Wait, are you? Maybe I'm not. I'm confused. Are you saying because, like, we have this things like mathematics? Well, to be fair, how do you think?
He's speaking about absolute truth.
It's not yet.
I don't even know what that means.
Truth,
There,
absolute mind. Forrest is badass. So Forrest, go ahead and kill my argument.
Wait,
I think that what you were saying before is just simply that, like Dwight and Gray were saying, these are all concepts that are man-made or discovered by men. So
that's why I'm not.
What
I'm
concepts?
trying to understand, like, why.
What concepts are you referring to?
like math.
Yeah, math and logic.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure why I should hold this.
I don't think it was necessarily man-made. I think it was found in the universe that
Whom, sir?
math came about.
By whom, sir?
By the laws.
Yeah, why should we believe?
I think math is pretty simple to understand, though.
Do you think that, like,
When two things come together,
Nick, do you
it
think
makes
that
it two.
gorillas discovered math, or do you think humans did?
well, gorillas didn't discover math.
Mm-hmm. Who did?
Mankind.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What does it mean to discover?
I don't know. Like
Yeah, what does it
I don't know
mean?
what
Math is
discovery
logic.
means.
It's logic.
Can you define logic?
No. I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, obviously, it's pretty soft.
I don't have to define things that are obvious.
Obviously, Bobby, I don't have to define the word that I'm using because it's just obvious what I mean.
I think.
I'm not stupid. Other people can act stupid.
What do you mean by logic?
What is with these people's fucking ego? Jesus Christ! I'm not saying you're stupid. It's the second person.
It's how you're. It's how you're responding to me.
Like, I'm not
about
stupid.
certain
Look, let's try this again. Let's actually just try this. Give an argument for a god with a mind that created the universe. Let's try it. Let's go. Let's try this again.
We just did.
Wait.
He just gave the whole point about a maker.
Yeah. What is it? Is it because mountains exist?
Do you not understand his point?
Yeah, he
he's
says
making?
mountains exist. There has to be sign. There has to be evidence for God. I'm not too sure how that goes. How he
Yeah,
got
so
there.
like where there's a watch, it's a watch just doesn't appear out of thin air. Someone made a watch.
Okay, why should
It's
we
a
think?
si-
Yeah, if we agree with
it's
that,
a
why should we
simple-
think mountains
Hold on,
were
did you
made?
just
simple
literally
argument.
verbatim go for the watchmaker fallacy?
Wait, why should we?
It's
okay,
not
yeah.
a fallacy if you understand what
sort of is a
he's
fallacy,
trying to
but-
say.
Well, no, we understand what he's saying, right?
Right.
Like buildings need builders. Mountains, why do they need why do they need mountain creators?
Okay, where did the grass come from?
That's a question.
I know it's a question. Where'd it come from?
Look, we're asking for you to give the argument for God. Why are you asking us questions?
Because I'm trying to get you to understand.
No, just give the argument.
argument.
Just give
The argument is
the set
that
of reasoning.
I'm trying to get there with you. Like you have to get
don't worry
there.
about.
Don't assume.
When you make people understand, when you're trying to make people understand things, right? There's a couple of ways that you can do it, right? Usually, it's by giving them sets of propositions, right? So, like, if I'm trying to make you understand what I mean, like when I'm saying, well, hey, you know, this watch needed or this building needed a builder, right?
Right.
The way that I can do that is by giving you sets of propositions that are true, right? Or that we can assume to be true.
Right.
Say like,
I gave you
well,
one.
You know,
I gave you one
construction workers make buildings, right? That proposition could be true, and that could be, you know, helpful for you to understand why this building needs a construction worker to be built, right? Or to be a building, right? But then it would be weird for me to go, right? It would be weird for me to say, well, this building needs a builder. And you're like, okay, why should I think that? And you go, well, who made grass? It's weird to do that. Well, it's not very informative.
that's
It's
not
not
what
informing of any. It's not
being
informing of
dishonest,
anything.
because that's
no,
not
it's not.
what-
It's not
that's-
informing of anything, right? Like questions aren't informative.
The reason why I
Questions are not
said that,
informative.
because you listen.
They don't-
We're
they
trying to
don't
walk you
contain-
down a path.
they don't
Trying to
contain
walk you down a
data.
path, and you went off the
Nick,
path.
assume you're dumb. Just assume we don't know who made grass. Just give us the reason why we should think because mountains
The
exist.
reason is that
God.
like a watch, there's a watchmaker.
But that's
like
just
a
making a question.
universe, there's someone who formed the universe.
Wait, but that's the conclusion that which you're getting at.
Can I gently parent him real
So
quick?
the reason with the building example that I gave, right, why that isn't question begging, is because I'm not saying, well, the construction workers make buildings, right? Because the conclusion is that there is a builder for the buildings, right? What you would need to say there is like, well, these construction workers have a job. They typically work with these sets of materials, right?
Okay,
And we can see inductively in the world that every time there is this sort of shape with these sort of materials, it's tend to be done by these construction workers, right? That's inductive support.
So just because you haven't seen the workers doesn't make it not true. That's my
I
point.
I understand that. Right?
Do you understand
But the difference is,
Do you really
is-
understand what we're
yes,
saying?
I do. The difference is, right, is that there's
Doesn't seem that way.
inductive support for the buildings, right? That we see the construction workers. We've seen construction workers before.
I just asked you a
right?
question,
But now,
and you said
now
you
with the
understood it.
mountains, we haven't seen any mountain makers out and about. Right, so
Because
there's
we're
inductive
pointing
support
you
for
to
one,
the mountain
but there
maker,
isn't
who is
inductive
God.
support for another.
Wait, no, wait, hold on. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
The
Hold on,
whole,
like
the whole reason for this argument
wait, stop.
is to point you that
Wait. Let me just jump in and like cut through this, right? Okay, so basically, like, you know, like Ray Comfort makes the same argument, and I don't think that this is a good argument, right? When it comes to when it comes to
depends on
building,
who you are.
wait, hold on. When it comes to buildings, right? There's going to be priors. We're going to have like reasons that are going to inform us as to why like a builder builds a building. Same thing with painters. We've seen this process. We see that people go to work, they build buildings. We see that they use materials to build those buildings. There's a lot of priors that we're going to have. Now, you're taking an instance with priors and you're comparing it to the universe, which we have like no priors for whatsoever. Even when you compare like a building to a mountain, there's like different priors for each of those. But for our universe, we have like no priors. And so it would be like a false equivalency. And like you can't say like, oh yeah, well like a building has a builder, so like the universe must have like a creator. Like no, there's no way to know that the universe has a creator. The same way that you can know like a building has a
So
builder
if you don't
because we
see
can
the
observe
worker,
time.
just because you haven't seen the worker
Yeah.
doesn't make it not true.
I'm not
That
saying
was
like
my point earlier.
wait,
to
wait,
what you
hold
just
on, hold
said.
on. Okay, you're right. Like nobody's
I
like,
am right.
wait, hold on. Like, yeah, it doesn't mean that there isn't a worker, but it doesn't
Right.
necessarily
And
make
so
it.
if
Wait,
you're
hold
going
on,
to
hold on.
concede on that, then you
Wait,
need
you're moving too fast. Hold on. It doesn't mean that there's not a worker, but it's not exactly a good case to demonstrate that there is a worker. We're just kind of stuck with like we have something that we don't see any priors for. We don't know what created it. It's not building a case for anything.
Well, I mean, we don't see the Big Bang very much at all either. We don't just.
We
see,
do see that.
You do?
Yeah.
You
Okay. Yeah. So
you've seen
when it comes to the Big Bang, there's a lot of evidence for the Big Bang. We have background radiation. We have the constant expansion of the universe. There are things that would hint at the Big Bang. We have priors for the Big Bang. It's one of the most established like theories for the expansion of the universe. But when it comes to like what's the source of the universe, we don't have any priors for that.
So the Big Bang, like who was there? How was it, discovered? Who wrote about it? We only know by our systematic logic, right?
Yeah, to be specific, a Roman Catholic physicist came up with the Big Bang, and there's clearly observations that can demonstrate that the Big Bang is likely, like background radiation, like the constant expansion of the universe, like redshift. Yeah, like planets are constantly getting further and further away from the sun every single year. There's plenty of things.
But is there more Big Bangs happening? Because if there is, then there should be more life somewhere else.
Why
that's not entailed.
That doesn't follow. What's even the point of that question? I don't even see what the point of that question.
Well,
is. The thing that we're trying to get at, right, is why should we think God exists? I don't know how it flipped on to like asking us questions about the Big Bang. Just why should we think that mountains have creators?
The same way why you should think the Big Bang created everything.
We're not saying no. The Big Bang didn't create. Well,
creation there, right, might imply some sort of
creation,
some agency or something, right? Something that did it with intent, right? Some form of intent. Like you're not going to say that like, the air created the tornado. You might say like the air caused the tornado or a tornado occurred due to the air, but the creation there sort of implies some intent. Right? So again, it's just going to go back to the same question. Why should I think that there's intent at all within the Big Bang or with mountains? I don't think that you've ever, I think you've just asked questions about grass. I think
we need to remind everyone that this is a professional life.
Forrest.
I think we need to remind everyone that questions aren't a fucking argument.
I fucking love Forrest. Like,
nor are they an answer.
I genuinely love Forrest. I would probably step in front of Forrest and take a bullet for him.
Well, I would do the same
crazy.
for you.
I wouldn't even think about doing that. That's
I would do that
crazy.
for all of you. I wouldn't even think about doing that.
I'd push Forrest into the bullet.
Don't blame me for that.
That is knowing God.
I am leaving
I would
all of you
push
and I'm
bullet.
running
I
away.
would push Forrest into the bullet just so I don't get hit.
Seb would be the one behind the gun.
Exactly. Yeah, I'd be the one shooting it.
Maybe I would save Bobby. Maybe.
I'd save Bobby. I fucks with Bobby.
I would step in front of Bobby.
What's funny is both Bobby and Luis told me that like the Darth like fucks with them, and then like eventually even they who like are very charitable, good faith, kind, honest men, they still got blocked by Darth.
Damn, that's crazy. Bobby, you got blocked by
The
Darth.
Conqueror, the champion, the lion is here.
Jabril, did you have like an argument or something? I think that in the comments you
Team,
said
if
you
I
wanted
ever want to call somebody a jabroni online, I think that you are one.
I don't know how I'm a jabroni.
Jabroni? Like the My Little Pony guys?
I like baloney.
I don't think I give bro energy.
Yo, if Darth blocked Bobby, then none of us are gonna make it.
Which
Of course he
Darth?
blocked Bobby. He has a fucking throat tattoo. I block him too on site.
Does it say? Wait, does it say only God can judge me?
Wait, wait. You have a neck tattoo? That's crazy.
Yeah, it's on the picture.
It's in his photo.
But
Wait, what is it? What does it say? Does it say anything, or is it just
It's
like
a choker.
Is it a choker or is it an actual toter?
He's getting perpetually choked.
You got that
24/7.
choked neck. Yeah, you got tight neck,
Wait,
bro.
and a septum and a lip piercing? Yeah, you're cooked, buddy.
There's nothing wrong with that.
You guys just don't know ball.
I'm talking
Yes,
about
we don't
Darth's
know ball.
perspective.
You know plenty ball.
You don't know.
Fuck would you tattoo a choker? You can just buy
Bobby,
one.
You guys
have
just
you
don't
ever
know
played
ball.
basketball in your life?
Why'd you cook yourself like that, bro?
Yo,
That
Bob,
is
Just
wait,
cook yourself.
is that a choker or
hold
is that a
on.
tattoo?
That is so
You
good.
said tattoo.
Yo, let
Guys.
me defend Bobby. That's W fashion, bro.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that, Bobby. That's tight as
Bro,
fuck.
I'm
I'm
probably,
not
Committed
talking
to
about
the
some moralness over here.
I am probably the most
love-
passionate
I love
person on this channel.
I'm not gonna lie, the hater
I
on
like
the
piercings and tattoos. You're cool.
choker.
I've seen Hatim. Hatim's pretty stylish.
Chokers.
I've seen that team.
Nah,
That team got some
I
good
like a
suits.
Hatim can
That team
dress.
got good suits. Like when it comes to like your suit game.
Yeah, I got suit game.
I can guarantee you I have more suits than you.
Okay. Yes, you do probably.
I got at least 30 jackets.
Damn. The
Damn.
fuck?
I used to work
You
at
go
a
to Men's
gentleman's club.
Warehouse, nigga?
I used to work at a gentleman's club, so
Okay.
No, actually, Forrest might be part of the mafia.
I plead the fifth.
The Mexican mafia.
The Italian.
My next tattoo is gonna be my next tattoo job is gonna be like you guys watch Bleach?
Yeah.
Never seen it.
I watched like
No, yeah, I'm gonna get the hollow hole.
Tough.
You gonna make shit
Beezy,
worse?
let's get this man big screen.
Okay.
Don't wait.
Bro, he
What
looks
a-
fucking
whoa.
giant, dog.
Yeah, like
This dude's styling.
me.
I see you, BZ.
7 foot.
Nah, I'm only
Easy,
6
I'm scared.
Bro, my girl's here. My girl's on
Who's
the app,
taking it?
man.
Yo, chill out, man.
Don't be in the chat for girlfriends, guys.
Okay, W. I got a girlfriend.
I just got broken up.
That's
With
crazy.
who?
It was
With who? Your boyfriend?
my 7-year relationship.
7-year relationship.
Or
down
were
the
they
drain.
gender neutral,
Down the
nigga?
drain.
I would never, bro. I'm not gonna lie. My girlfriend, we're coming up to 3 years now. I saw this TikTok. You know, like those memes where it's like someone calls you or something on your girl's phone, and they're like, "What's up, little bro?" It's like a dude. I
Yeah,
told her.
fucks with you.
I told her if that ever happens, that I would murder the guy and her. I genuinely told her I would literally kill her.
On some Juice World shit.
I'm not
That's
joking.
crazy. Yo, that's a bit far, bro.
It's never that deep.
I'm genuinely not
damn.
joking when I say that.
Let's be respectful. Let's be respectful, man.
Damn.
Let's be respectful.
Hey, yo, that's crazy.
Hey,
Nobody
man.
said anything, and the most respectful person made a comment.
Bro, did bro just flex?
I wasn't even gonna say
Bro
anything.
just flex for no
You
reason.
didn't even have to tell me. I like
don't
BZ. He's nice. He's
I
cool.
said,
Let's be
Respectful person go, yeah.
Bro just flex for no reason.
let's be.
Hey,
Yo,
we see
If I
why
had
they
$1
broke up
million,
after 7
if I had
years.
$1 million for who would have made a comment, the money never would have been on Bobby.
let's be gentlemen.
Like Bobby go, damn.
Bro,
That's why I married you.
I was genuinely surprised.
Put the money on myself.
he said it
before Bobby.
twice, bro. He said
Oh
it twice.
fuck, that's crazy.
We all
Bobby,
quiet.
let's get you baptized, buddy.
He's like, I don't think they heard me. I don't think they heard me. Damn.
Bobby was like, God damn.
This shit came out of nowhere, you know? Surprised me.
Why didn't she break up with me after 7 years? Why did we break up? Damn.
Wow. Fuck, bro, that's funny.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Nigga, I had
The
wandering
grass
eyes.
is always greener on the other side, you know?
Bro, it's crazy.
No,
Does he need to get back in the mirror again, Bobby? Because
7 years is a lot, man. It still stings, but it's just gonna get over it.
Are you for real? Wait, Bobby. Wait, are you being for real or are you joking?
No, I'm for real. It like
what?
A few days ago, yeah.
What Bobby, Bobby, 7 years. I'd just murder her just because of 7 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Seb, you said it twice. I gotta baptize you.
He's one of those young.
Okay, yeah,
we
gotta bring
I know why she left you, bro.
Holy water.
Yo,
I know why she
using-
left you. I can tell you right now why
She just didn't want to buy you a Christmas gift, bro. Like,
Nah,
she's tired of you being on TikTok all the time debating.
Nah, it's actually
God.
it's a lot more complex than that. You just
Like if you're not comfortable, don't go into
But
it.
yeah,
That's
it's
crazy.
It's one of those things that is meeting up young and love just young shit.
How old are you, nigga?
7 years? I don't think that's due to youngness, bro.
Bobby's probably either like 25 or 42.
I'm 30.
He's 30.
Yeah.
He's somewhere in the middle.
It's one of those things that you just. I think that would be my first legit heart. Honestly, Seb, this being my first legit heartbreak, I do understand where you're coming from with that comment because. Honestly, after this, man, I can do that shit twice. I don't know how people get married more than once. How do you get married more than once?
You're gonna do it, bro. Trust, bro.
Bobby, you'll move
your
on,
prime
bro.
ain't
Trust.
even.
I don't know how you
hasn't
get.
even been realized. You're only 30.
Awesome, real shit, Bobby. Like, don't worry, bro. You'll be all right. Like,
Bobby, it took me 2 years, bro. I was divorced, I feel you, Bobby.
I mean, dude, I feel like when you love like that, I don't know if you can love more than once.
Nah. It takes a while. Yeah, it took me like 2-3 years. to move on.
I think. Listen, in all honesty, I've been looking more into like philosophy of love. I don't think that like you're gonna be able to love anyone the exact same, right? Even if like, let's say like you're married to somebody for 12 years, you end up in a divorce, and then 4 years later you end up, meeting somebody new, remarrying. You're never gonna love that new person like you did the old person, but you're gonna love them nonetheless, right? You're still gonna love them as though like they're your soulmate. You just won't have the same connection. Maybe you'll have the same level, right? Maybe the same level of connection, just not the same connection. So I don't think
agree.
Do you guys think it's wrong to think about your past relationship?
A little bit.
No.
Yeah.
It depends.
Wait.
No,
when you
not really.
ask
It
that-
depends.
When you ask that, in what concept are you saying?
Yeah, like in what way? Like
Or
getting back to an old
or like
relationship?
an intrusive thought way, like.
I think that just happens as men.
Yeah,
but
we all have those thoughts, but you just got to think what's gonna make you better. Like I've been with my girl for a minute, and we got 2 kids, so like it's since we were 14, so and it's been we went through the rain so that we can get to the smiles early or later down.
You guys been together since you were 14? How old are
Since
you?
you're 14?
I'm 34.
Like you,
Easy.
like you have the passive thoughts, right?
That's W, bro.
Like the passive thoughts of, oh man, how would I be if I stayed with X person now? If we got together but got back together, and then you also have the other passive thoughts like, how would it feel if I would, is with a different girl? But I never take those thoughts serious. Like they just happen.
Well, hold on. Like 14 is either like freshman or sophomore in high school.
And he's 34.
Yep.
And you married your high school sweetheart.
Your first?
Like,
Not even, bro. She's almost 40.
oh, she's older than you.
Yeah.
And she looks
the-
like that? Damn.
That's crazy.
Wait, Bobby.
Bro, you need to relax.
Yo, that's someone's wife.
What the hell is going on with you today? You just got
I'm
broken
not gonna lie
up in 7
though.
years.
Good,
Like
man.
but in all honesty, I think that like when it comes to relationships, I don't think to the question that you asked, was it Forrest or Steve? I don't know, but I don't think it's wrong. I think that those are just like intrusive thoughts, like when you just randomly think about fucking boobs or some shit, right? Like that, like those are just intrusive thoughts, right? And like women, that happens to women as well. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that, right? Like maybe like just one day you're thinking about like some party that you went to when you were like fucking 21 or some shit, and then you ended up sleeping with somebody that wasn't your current girlfriend, and you just remember that, right? It's not something that like you're actively thinking about. It's just some thought that comes to your head. You can't think about what you can't choose what thoughts go into your head. I don't think there's anything wrong.
I think
that's true.
I remember it like when I first had my first long relationship, which was just really like 2 years compared to like what I have now. I thought that was like I thought that was my gonna
had
my first my first
damn
love.
crazy. That's
But-
crazy.
But that one, like, I think that's when I was in college. And you honestly, like, thinking about it, I can't even remember her name. Like, it was weird because I remember the first, my first, like, heart.
I think it was Mark.
Can't even remember.
yo, you guys need to chill, bro.
Are you sure it wasn't Matthew or Luke?
Yo, you need to
But,
thin
like,
down.
after being, I can't remember her name now because, like, it was weird because I don't even know, like, it like psych, like you said, it took probably like a year or two for me to properly forget her. I probably moved on by the second year, but like,
But why do you need to forget her?
it just weird.
I'm not gonna
To be able to
bullshit
move
you.
on, like,
Sam's kind of right. Y'all were
together for 2 years. You don't remember her name?
It's to be able to it's to be able to like move on, right? Like
I feel like you
imagine.
move on and remember though.
Yeah, but I think it's better. I mean, I think when he says like, not remember her, I think he just means like not remember the feelings that he like, not feel the same feelings that which he had, right? Like, it would be weird if you're trying to move on, right? It's like when it happens with like with death or something, right? Like when somebody close to you passes away, after like you probably shouldn't be bawling your eyes out fucking 7 years later, right? It's understandable if you are, but if you do want to move on, you probably should try and go past those feelings to where you start bawling your eyes out, right?
But I
Like
bawl
that
my
it
eyes
probably
out
isn't
all
mentally
the
healthy.
You
But
gotta
I
just
think it's
block
okay to ball your eyes
everywhere.
out. As long
But
as
yeah,
it's not,
I just don't think. I
as
think
long
it's.
as
I
it's
think
not
it's perfectly fine.
debilitating. I think
Exactly,
Just
that's what I mean.
disconnect, bro. Just disconnect. Block her everywhere. You
Like,
because I bawl my eyes out every
Bro,
time.
already
Like,
way ahead of you. I
like, when you come out of a-
blocked her everywhere and disconnected, man. Because
like when you come out of a relationship, I think that like it's something
Well, what sucks now?
so
'Cause
much different comparative to
I'm
other
locked in a lease with
relationships.
her, so I'm trying to like find another living situation, so I could move on.
you have to do that. Yeah.
Oh, Forrest, do you need a roommate?
was it okay?
Oh
Tell
yeah,
us this.
shit. If you need, look, bro, if you want to look at a roommate,
Wait,
was it
Bobby, where do you
amicable?
live?
Was it
I
amicable?
live in Austin.
Was it amicable?
Coco would be your roommate.
Shoot, I'm broke. I'm trying to get my money up.
That would have your bills. What do you mean?
I'm gonna. Well, I make like $40 an hour, so I'm down for whatever.
Wait, Bobby, what do you do?
I told you already. I'm an accountant.
Oh.
You're a cunt?
An accountant.
I got told earlier by Haru and God that I can't call women a cunt, but I can call men a cunt.
It's a whole thing.
Wait, so just to be clear, Bobby, was it amiable? Was it amicable?
It's amiable, but it's just you gotta move on, man. It's so much had happened, and I don't want to go into details clearly because it's just when we first met, to how it ended. It's still amiable, but it makes sense given.
Did you guys yell at each other when you guys broke up, or was it calm?
No, we just we just confirm. We just want to confirm where we're meant to stay at. And it wasn't like Seb. I'm not like crashing out like Seb. Like, hey, I will. But it's one of those things where like I've always been more like financial. Like 7 years, I truly did love this girl, man. And it's one of those things where like I don't know if I could